Watch it. It's time for the John and Ant Show.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the John and Ant Show. John here.
This is Ant.
And a new guest on the show, Carlos Titos, as we called him in high school. Or
well, that's because that's his name.
Oh.
That's why we called him.
But tell me.
Nice going there, John.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know. I thought it was like a nickname or.
No, if anything, my nickname was the last name. That's what it was.
Aha, there we go. But tell us about yourself, Carlos, sports-wise, and all that kind of stuff.
I'll follow any kind of sports. I'm pretty much a Rutgers graduate. I'm currently looking for work right now, but that seems to be in the cards. So we'll just see where that goes. As far as sports, I'm down for anything. You're down for any conversation. I'm up for it.
So NFL, what kind of fan are you?
I'm a Jets fan.
Another loser Jet fan.
Aren't you a Bills fan? At least I'm not a Bills fan, okay?
Yo, watch it. At least we made 4 straight Super Bowls
At least
here.
we have a ring. You lost 4 straight Super Bowls.
Wait,
right?
if you didn't have Joe Namath as your quarterback, you guys don't win that Super Bowl.
Okay, and if the Colts don't have Peyton Manning, they don't win their Super Bowl against the Bears. What is that supposed to be? What's that supposed? If the Patriots don't have Tom Brady, they don't win any of their Super Bowls. Last time I checked, I could have sworn that the NFC was not supposed to be a power conference.
Yeah.
So shouldn't you guys have won those Super Bowls? Okay, albeit 2 of those were against Dallas.
And those were blowouts.
Yeah.
Absolute blowouts. And then Washington was another blowout.
You'd get blown out too if you were playing against Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman.
And then we all know the Giants story, wide right.
Yeah.
Nothing to say about that game. That game puts me to tears, actually. Okay, baseball.
Baseball, I'm a Mets fan.
Oh, boy. Thank you. Finally, a Mets fan on the show.
Oh, boy.
We all know how Met fans are. We cry at the end of the season when the season's over.
Well, you guys are usually crying by the middle of the season.
Well, last year we were actually...
By the end of the season,
we were
you guys
happy.
Have coped with it already.
We were doing good.
I usually start losing interest in the Mets games when they start playing against NL East teams. Because for some reason, they just find a way to fail.
That's them. Yeah, I've gotten used to it already.
And I'm getting so sick and tired of the my entire team sucks.
Oh, God,
give me a break with this. I mean, come on.
I know. Like I said, we'll talk about the Mets today, actually.
Yeah.
NHL?
NHL, I'm a Devils fan.
Get out of my... You're off the show already.
What is up with you and the rivalries, for crying out loud?
Get off the show.
He was knocking on Devils fans yesterday. Oh, is that right? Well, let's hear what you got to say.
I have a lot to say. You know what? It's a 48-game season, okay? And what are we in? 20 games already in?
Albeit the 48-game season was Gary Bettman's fault because the guy is a loser.
It's his fault. Oh, he is. He's a definite loser. But here's my problem. You have Devil fans beat the Rangers 1 game, and I get this. If you're happy and you know it, Rangers suck.
Okay. First of all, I completely hated hearing that because I don't determine games, at least rivalries, just for 1 game of the season.
Exactly. And you talk all this crap, and all of a sudden, oh wait, they've lost 5 straight so far, and the Rangers are finally looking good as a team. And Nash scored 2 goals the other night, and Callahan scored 2 goals the other night. Don't
get me wrong, Peter DeBoer is a good coach. He's phenomenal. He's done well with what he's been dealing with the Devils the last 2 seasons. I mean, hell, we thought John McClain was going to be a good coach last season, and he turned out to be a wash. That was just completely... That was just terrible. The guy was a former player.
You guys still made the Stanley Cup Finals, though.
Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, if anything, the better candidate probably would have been, like, Scott Stevens or, hell, get Ken Danico off the commentator box at MSG and bring him along. See how he does.
No, I like him. Is that the guy who does the Devils games?
Yes.
And is always backing them up 110%?
Yes.
I cannot stand him as a commentator.
You can't stand him for the fact that he has no front teeth. That's probably why. I mean, seriously.
Can't stand him as a commentator.
No, but when you look at the Devils, I mean, the problem they have now is the fact that they can't score.
And they don't have a goalie.
They don't have a goalie. Marty Brodeur, he's... honestly,
my back hurts. Someone call him the ambulance.
Last time I checked, we were ahead of the Rangers in the standings.
And
so
you know what? It's gonna flip tonight. So get used to it.
How do you know the Devils aren't going to beat the Sabres tonight?
Buffalo. They're not beating Buffalo.
You don't think they can beat Buffalo?
No, absolutely not.
So you see Ryan Miller stymieing the Devils today?
Yes.
That is
the way the Devils are playing right now. They're not looking good. All this talk in the beginning of the season. Oh, we're in first place. Rangers stink. Blah blah this and that. You know what? Things change, and it changed quickly.
So you're telling me that playing at home doesn't mean anything for this game?
Absolutely not.
Really? That's a surprise.
Not. Your goalie stinks. Hedberg stinks. Okay.
Hedberg is terrible, but he's had his moments. If anything, I wouldn't start Hedberg. I'd start Kincaid. This guy has been a top prospect for a while for the Devils. Give the guy a shot.
Well, I want you to find out who's starting tonight, if you can.
I could probably find out, yeah.
Can you do it now?
It's probably not going to show now, but if anything, I would assume that Hedberg is going to start.
That's a loss.
That's tough to say, because Buffalo's playing on the road.
Still, it's a possible loss.
Yes, it is a possible loss, just like any other NHL game in the freaking regular season. Come on. I mean...
Here's my thing. Where's Buffalo right now in the standings?
Buffalo's got to be...
They're last. Okay, they're last 9-13.
Okay, so...
If the Devils do win this game, does it mean much?
Yes, it does, because it's a win in the standings. And plus, they kind of separate. They kind of separate from the Rangers a little bit.
They do, but the way the Devils are playing right now.
Don't get me wrong. The Atlantic Conference in the NHL East is the toughest conference in the NHL.
Oh, it is. Well, minus the Islanders and Philly.
No. Give the Islanders some credit. John Tavares has done pretty well.
Don't get me wrong. I like John Tavares.
The only problem with the Islanders is the fact that they have Rick DiPietro, who's dealing with all these struggles. Finally, they put him on waivers. Smartest move they've done.
But they still owe him money.
They still owe him money, and that's kind of.
But that's where he makes out good for himself.
Absolutely.
You know, he makes out good. That contract was ridiculous, though.
Yeah.
How do you give a guy 10 years and he stinks?
I mean, you could blame it on injury. You can blame it on performance. I mean, the point is, it is what it is. I mean,
are you okay, man? By the way,
I'm good.
Oh, okay. You've been very quiet.
I'm having fun listening to this.
Oh, are you?
I am.
He wants this to be a PTI session. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The way the Rangers are playing right now, it looks like they finally got a group together. Nash is finally showing the way he's supposed to play hockey. Scored 2 phenomenal goals. Callahan's the leader right now. 2 goals last game. I'm impressed. Only thing, defense now, Mark Stahl's out for a long period of time.
And that I think is an X factor aside from Brad Richards' injury as well.
It is an X factor, but they just picked up the 38-year-old. What's his name?
I totally forgot. I'm not certain of that.
Hold on. Say whatever you have to say.
Well, I'm just not sold on the Rangers because Henrik has not had a good season. He's had his ups and downs, but I'm not sold on the Rangers right now. Until I see a healthy Stahl and I see a healthy Brad Richards, that team is a force to be reckoned with.
Here's my problem with Brad Richards. He hasn't really done anything yet. Has not done anything. But they picked up Roman Hamrlik.
Roman Hamrlik, he's too old.
He's old. 38.
I mean, what are we talking? We're talking former Islander, former Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean,
Caps.
Yes, that's that too. I mean, seriously, we're going to start bringing in guys similar to Jaromir Jagr. I mean, come on, this to me is a joke of a pickup.
Well, here's the Rangers' next upcoming games, which are winnable.
Let's see.
Islanders, Ottawa, Caps.
The Caps game, where are they playing the Caps?
It's home.
That's a win. They play against the Islanders in...
Oh, wait, that's Caps game's away, my bad.
Oh, the Caps game's away, that's a loss. Because the Caps have a big home crowd.
They do, but they're horrible right now.
They're horrible right now, but they somehow find better ways to win at home than on the road.
Games, they have better chances to win. The Ottawa game's home. The Caps game's away.
The Ottawa game should be a win. The Islanders game is what? Is an away game?
The Ottawa home game.
No, you said Islanders, Ottawa.
Oh, it's Islanders at
Nassau?
Yeah.
That should be a win. Should be a win, but
I know.
Then again, John Tavares is on a hot streak.
He is.
So I don't know. That game might be a shootout. I'm telling you.
That's a possibility. And the Devils' next 3 are
that's
Sabres tonight, Hurricanes, and
Hurricanes should be a win, although they did lose to them recently. But if I recall correctly, Cam Ward, I think he's out for the season.
Good possibility.
I think he has a sprained MCL. I think that's what I heard.
Yes.
So that game should be winnable for the Devils.
Okay. And yeah, like I said, you got the Hurricanes, and you have the Jets, and then the Flyers.
Winnipeg should be a loss if they play in Winnipeg.
And the Flyers you got twice.
We should beat them one out of those 2 games.
One's at Philly, one's at home.
If anything, we should lose the game in Philly.
I'm kind of hoping for Philly to win. I hate Philly, but I think there's more of a Devil's hatred in me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising because I see more of a rivalry
No,
with Philly.
there's a lot of more, but when Devil fans like to talk crap about the Rangers...
He goes, where? Make you fun of my Rangers.
Here we go. This is...
I remember when you used to write your Facebook statuses on April, and on the Devils, you'd be like, oh my god, the Devils suck. And then you get all these hate comments. Carlos remembers.
Yeah, of course.
You went AWOL on
You
there.
don't do it anymore, though.
Well, no, I went AWOL because it was so early in the season that you start bashing on these kind of rivalries. Wait until the end of the season to start doing this.
Well, that's why I haven't. I've been waiting. And,
smart move. Very smart move.
Wanted to make a comment about the Devils, but I'm afraid all the Devil fans will
No,
cry.
don't wait. I want to see this.
No, I'm not going to do it.
I enjoyed it very much.
I'm enjoying
I would advise you to wait, but then again, we're talking about a shortened season, so I don't think it really matters at this point.
No, it doesn't, because whoever wins the Cup, it's going to be, it's a 48-game season, who cares? That's what we're going to get.
Can we say right now that the definitive team to make the Stanley Cup final is the Chicago Blackhawks? Can we agree on that?
I think they're out the first round.
Really? You see them out in the first round despite their impressive streak?
Yes.
Who are they losing to?
Well, who knows? I mean, the standings will figure it out. It matters who has the 8th seed.
The San Jose Sharks.
I mean, that's a tough call.
I mean, the way things are right now.
I mean, you're telling me that Chicago, with their veteran team, I mean, Jonathan Taves, he's coming back to life right now.
Cheeseburgers.
Out first round.
Out first round.
First round. Don't get me wrong. It's impressive on what they're doing. Montreal, too. Same thing. Impressive what they're doing.
Right.
But right now, the 8th seed's Dallas.
Dallas should not beat Chicago. I'm telling you. Dallas should not beat Chicago.
If they do?
If they do, I'll be surprised. I'll be very surprised.
Well, like I said, it's all mixed up right now because Minnesota's there, St. Louis is there.
Don't get me wrong. Streaks don't mean anything
Exactly.
in the playoffs. But then again, when you look at a seed, you got to look at the danger level of that team, at least as far as the bottom seed is concerned.
That's true.
And I just don't see Dallas as a dangerous team.
Okay. What about San Jose?
San Jose's dangerous. San Jose's dangerous at home. If anything, you want to talk about dangerous teams in the West, look at St. Louis. Look at the Kings.
Yeah. What about Vancouver?
Vancouver too. But then again, Vancouver you see is more of a top seed.
And then you got Anaheim, who's 16-3.
Anaheim's a good team.
There's 2 right now.
Exactly.
You know, but Chicago keeps winning, so they're never going to catch them.
That's for sure, yeah.
They're never going to catch them. But
definitely.
As in the Eastern Conference, Montreal's only up by 32, where it's easily you can catch up.
Right.
You know, Rangers need, 4 or 5 wins to catch up?
Yeah.
And Montreal has to lose. Same thing with the Devils. Toronto's up there, too.
I mean, right now, with the exception, I think for me, with the exception of Philly, I think you see a 4-team race in the Atlantic Division.
Oh, I think so.
With the Islanders, though. Philly, I can't see included because
I know.
I'm not sold on their goalie.
Yeah, I'm not sold on him either. I've never been a fan of him. Even though he was kind of funny in the 24/7 thing with the Rangers. He was that was pretty good. That was pretty good. But
it was alright, yeah.
It's like I said, whoever wins, it's people are gonna complain. Oh, it's only 48
It's tough to say,
season.
but right now I see Pitt running away with it right now. Even though they have struggled, I see Pitt taking that division right now.
Only up by 30 points, and they're only up by like 5-6 points.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing big.
But then again, the Devils are struggling. Rangers are trying to pick themselves up.
And they are.
Islanders are a fun team to watch, but you never know, they might tank at the end of the season.
That's what normally happens.
Normally yeah.
Happens.
It shouldn't happen with the kind of talent they have, though.
No, it shouldn't. I think there's only 3 games tonight. Rangers, Islanders, Buffalo, New Jersey. Buffalo, New Jersey, Toronto, Boston.
Toronto, Boston, that doesn't pique my interest.
Yeah. That's all I see. Blah.
I'm neutral on both teams, but if anything, I'll go with Toronto in that game.
Obviously, Rangers for me, and I got Buffalo because I think New Jersey's going to losing 6 in a row.
Oh boy, here we go.
6 in a row for those Devils and Marty's ambulance.
Wait, Rangers are playing who again? I'm sorry.
What?
Rangers are playing who again?
Islanders.
Oh man,
no matter where
I'm gonna call this a shootout, but I'm gonna take the Islanders right now because they are on a hot streak.
The Rangers are playing right now. You got to go with the Rangers.
I got to take the Islanders.
They're playing really good right now. I think this is the best I've seen them in
and
quite
this
a while.
epitomizes the rivalry we're doing. We're going to see plenty of Facebook statuses on these games.
Oh, yeah, right?
I mean,
as for basketball, you are a...
I'm a Nets fan.
You're off the show. Get out.
For crying out loud with you and the Knicks. I mean, when you struggle against a team like Detroit last night...
They still won, but you struggled against the Bobcats.
Yeah, but the point is our defensive prowess came in the second half where we only gave up 9 points to the Bobcats in the third quarter.
Still, I'd be embarrassed to be losing to the Bobcats.
Point is we didn't lose. We ended up winning by 21.
Exactly, so the Knicks did the same thing. They won.
You guys won by 6.
And? A
That's
win's
pathetic.
a win. A win's a win.
A win can be a win, but you gotta win. You gotta win convincingly against the bottom tier teams. The Eastern Conference is such a terrible conference.
the only team they have a problem with is Cleveland. I don't get it.
Cleveland's got a stud in Kyrie Irving. They got a decent team with C.J. Miles, and plus they're being coached by Byron Scott. Byron Scott has proven himself as a decent coach in the league.
At least.
Why he took that job, I can't understand though. I mean,
he gets paid. He gets paid to coach.
He gets paid to coach, and I'm not saying he can't coach, but
here's
I'm
my
just
thing.
concerned with the fact that he chose Cleveland.
Here's my thing. Cleveland's never going to make the playoffs. Ever, never, ever, ever again.
I'm not going to go that far to say never, but as long as they have Dan Gilbert as the GM, they will. I agree with you there that they will probably not make the playoffs in such a wide.
How many times are you going to make the finals and blow it?
How many times did they make the finals? One time.
And one time to win.
Are you going to say that they blew that finals, though? LeBron carried his team with nobody.
Of course. LeBron was the team.
Exactly. So how can you say that they tanked?
Well, if Mr. King wants to call himself a king, he could have had 2 rings by now.
Oh, come on. He's going to pick himself with a team that has Anderson Varejao? I mean, really. Anderson Varejau's done well, but he's played with injury. Give me a break with this team. And Dan Gilbert, honestly, he should not be a GM. He should be seriously put in jail for his racist comments after that decision. I mean, give me a break with this guy.
I mean, the Cavaliers did beat the Jazz yesterday 104-101, and Irving did have 20 points and 10 assists.
Irving is a stud, but did they beat Utah in Utah?
Yes.
That is a shocker. That should not have happened. I don't know how that happened, but then again, give Byron Scott and Cleveland credit. That team has got energy, but that team cannot make the playoffs for squad.
I don't even want to say I wanted to bring this up, but the way the Lakers are playing right now, they're not making the playoffs.
I see the Lakers making the playoffs only because I see Utah slipping off that 8th seed. But the Lakers need vast improvement.
Oh, they do.
You cannot come to me and say that a 25-point comeback against New Orleans Hornets is meaningful.
I know.
Okay, you can tell me a win is a win, but it's against the New Orleans Hornets. Give me a break. You win off a 25-point comeback against a team whose number 1 player is either Robin Lopez or Grievous Vasquez. Give me a break.
I hear you.
This is a joke, this win against the Hornets.
Wow. Calling it a joke win.
It's a joke win because Kobe Bryant scoring 42. Okay, he can score 42 at any point in time because he's having a great season this year. But Steve Nash, Dwight Howard's coming off an injury. You hardly use Pau Gasol. What is going on with that team? You don't know where that team is going. Is that team going to make the playoffs? Absolutely. But they're probably not going to go far.
No, you're right. You're right. It's gonna suck where Utah does give up that 8 seed to them. I'd like to see the Lakers out. I'd love to see them out of the playoffs.
I wouldn't, because that takes kind of a rivalry, big city perspective.
Here's the thing. I like upsets. I'm a big thing with upsets. I like seeing teams that are supposed to be favorite lose.
Yeah, I like seeing upsets too.
I love upsets. But as a team like, San Antonio, I see them winning their first round playoff game.
Right.
I see them going on to the next round. Miami, because they're going to probably be the 1 seed.
Yeah.
They're going to face who would be 8th right now.
Right now, I would see Miami as the favorite in the Eastern Conference. Let's just be clear on that one.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty unanimous.
Unanimous, really?
Yeah. A lot of people are saying the same thing.
But don't get me wrong. This streak doesn't prove anything on what that team.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But just at the moment, everybody here is saying that Miami is the favorite.
Yeah.
I think.
But don't get me wrong. That win against the Magic was kind of a squeaker.
Yeah.
It was, you only win by 1 point, but LeBron James was able to make in that layup with 3.2 seconds left. I mean, that's okay. A win is a win, but you got to win convincingly against the bottom teams. Orlando is terrible.
And also, there's only 2 games tonight. Quickly, Thunder, New York, the Clippers, and Denver.
Clippers
Both
in,
2 games.
Clippers in Denver should be a fun one to watch. Knicks and Thunder, I'm going to tell you, that should be fun only because it's in Madison Square Garden. If this game was being played in Oklahoma City, they would be blown out.
Oh, I think so. I think so. As of right now, Miami has the 1 seed and New York is 2.
Okay.
The 8 seed is Milwaukee, so it'd be Miami versus Milwaukee in the first round if it stays like this, and which it should.
Milwaukee's a tough team to play in Milwaukee. I'm going to tell you that they could take 1 at home at least.
And New York would be facing Boston, which would have been an interesting. But like I said, I don't think this is changing. Toronto's not winning 9 games in a row.
Toronto's on the outside looking in.
Yes, they have 24 and 38.
I gotta tell you, Toronto, ever since they got Rudy Gay on that squad, they've looked a lot better. But
are you gonna make up with how many games are left in the season? You got I think 45 for it to.
So we got about
59 games.
Yeah, so
30
games
left.
More or less.
They're gonna make up ground, and Milwaukee's gonna totally just bomb 30 games.
Milwaukee finds a way of bombing. I mean,
they're not gonna lose this big of a lead. There's no way.
The Eastern Conference is weak, though.
It is weak. But I cannot see them losing 8 games in a row and Toronto winning 10 games in a row.
It's a possibility.
But don't get me wrong, it's possible. But same thing with Philly. They're 23 and 37. They're 22 games behind. Do you see them winning 30 games in a row? No,
not even with Doug Collins as a coach.
Absolutely
Doug Collins
not.
Is a good coach,
I think this stays. The way you're seeing it right now, Miami, New York, Indiana. I think Indiana might push the 2 seed.
That's a good possibility.
Which I'd like to see because I'd rather face Chicago the first round.
Ooh, that I don't know. I think I'd rather be.
I know you want to face Boston, but is Derrick Rose back yet?
No, he's not back yet.
I'd rather face Chicago.
You'd rather face Chicago without a Derrick Rose,
yes.
Even though Joakim Noah has played a lot better now.
I'd rather face Chicago. I feel more comfortable against Chicago just because Boston likes to sting it to the Knicks.
Boston may like to sting it to the Knicks, but
Are
the
they
point
capable?
is
Are they capable of doing that now, though?
No, absolutely not.
They're not because they don't
Boston's
have Rondo.
all old.
That's what I'm saying.
They're all old now. But don't get me. I like to face Boston, but if it has to go down to Chicago, I'd rather face. If it's down to those 2, Boston definitely. But if Indiana starts running away and they completely have the 2 seed, no other choice but to face Chicago.
Indiana right now is the dark horse pick of the East, I think.
Oh, it is. Like I said, they're 3. Brooklyn's 4, Atlanta's 5, Chicago 6, 7's Boston, and Milwaukee's 8.
One thing for sure, Atlanta's not going to go anywhere.
Oh, like I said, they're going to stay. But it's still all close. I mean, all these, it's the Knicks are 7.5 behind.
It's all close
Indiana's
because it's the
8.
Eastern Conference.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about here. We're talking
Pretty
about a
much.
weak conference. But you look at Atlanta. If they make the playoffs, they're going to get bounced in the first round because they can't do anything, not even with Josh Smith. It's pathetic what Atlanta does in the season.
It looks like if the season stopped today, you'd face Atlanta the first round.
Brooklyn would face Atlanta?
Yep.
In a 7-game series, I see them winning it in 6.
Okay.
I mean, Brooklyn's they've had their share of struggles too.
Well, like I said, it all depends on tonight if New York can show if they're a playoff contender.
And
Which they're going to make the playoffs no matter what.
Yeah, Brooklyn's going to make the playoffs. But one thing I have a problem with, at least as far as Brooklyn's concerned, is why haven't they give P.J. Carlesimo his due with a contract? They still have the interim tag on him. Give the guy his money. Give the guy his contract. He's already proven himself that he can coach. All right, he struggled against Golden State. He had a fight against Latrell Sprewell back in the day. But, I mean, give me a break. That's not going to prove anything to what he's doing right now with the Nets. He succeeded with the Nets. Give the guy his due. I mean, if he doesn't do well within 1 season, all right, then take it off. But it's...
Okay. I get you. Yeah, that's pretty much. We'll get into basketball later. Obviously, a lot of baseball to cover and stuff like that. Quick wrestling main event. Ant-Man, since you've been very quiet,
Well, what am I gonna do? Just like yell out obscenities or something? What are we gonna? Come on.
Oh my
What am I gonna interrupt you guys for? You guys had a good segment. I'm not gonna.
No, it's
I'm not
okay.
gonna-
I wanted you to, you could say something though. You're just, quiet.
I mean, we're not
What
trying to
should
say
I
that
do?
we're not trying to say that wrestling's irrelevant, even though it hasn't been.
Wait, what is that? I'm not in therapy or anything. I'm just letting
I'm
you
just
guys.
saying.
You guys were having a good discussion. This is a time for Carlos to speak on what he, what teams he enjoys watching and things like that. And I just felt, I don't need to interject.
No, it's okay.
It's fine.
You could have spoke though. I felt all lonely by myself over here.
Okay.
Then
Alright.
again, he doesn't. Well, then again, he doesn't follow the NBA, so you kind of.
That's true.
Kinda see his
No, I
point
do
there.
what I can with
Yeah.
the NBA, but I'm not big on it. It's not what it once was. But
Other than that, we did have main event last night.
Mhm.
What were your thoughts on it?
as always, I enjoyed it. It's much more wrestling orientated. Not too many people talking. For an hour show, it's usually enjoyable. I do like to point out that I spoke to Rob about Paul Bearer passing away, and what we thought would happen. Would they dub over the commentators and mention Paul Bearer's dying a couple days ago? They did not. All they did was they showed up. They showed a picture. They showed the years. Whenever he was born to 2013. Rest in peace. That was about it, and the rest of the show remained the same. And what I said was, if that's what they do on Main Event, then that's what they will do for SmackDown.
Okay.
Because both of them were recorded already. They're not going to go back and edit it.
No.
I would figure that the first...
I mean, I think Raw they'll have. I think a lot of people want them to do what Eddie Guerrero thing where they came out and did the 10-bell.
The 10-bell salute?
Yeah.
Okay. It's tough, though, to see if they would do that or not, because it's not like he was an active wrestler like Eddie Guerrero was at the time.
Okay. I got you.
Same thing with...
Can you say that he was one of the best managers?
Oh, absolutely.
in WWE?
That's no
See,
question about
this
that.
is where I would say he was great, but the greatest of all time is Bobby Heenan, without a doubt. I mean, he was just. They're 1-2. It's 1-2, 2-1.
Right.
It's the Bobby Heenan had such. What it was just he was so funny, and the way he just managed. Where there was he managed Mr. Perfect, he'd come out and pat him down, take the sweat off. That's funny, and he was also great on commentary with Gorilla Monsoon.
Mm-hmm.
They just worked together. It was like Abbott and Costello as they compared them to, or what was the other Dynamite team? Marx Brothers type of stuff. It just clicked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely they're 1-2, 2-1. But I'm a Bobby Heenan fan, and I have to go with Bobby Heenan. I love Paul Bearer to death. Like, oh yes, I can do his voice and stuff like that. But it's fun. But
What Paul Bearer was phenomenal with doing was building up whoever he was managing.
Oh, absolutely.
And-
I give a lot of credit to him for what The Undertaker and Kane are today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Especially with Kane. I mean, he didn't say a word for how long, right? When he first came.
But then he got this stupid mic thing that he did for no reason.
Well, no, at first that was alright because it still had the mysterious thing to him. But for the most part, he was built up by Paul Bearer himself, and even the same thing with The Undertaker. I was saying that before, to a point where he was synonymous with The Undertaker. But yeah, I would figure that the first time that they mention him live would be on Raw. It'd be interesting to see if they even do it, because I don't know that he was even employed when he passed away.
Just a quick note. He did manage The Undertaker for what, almost 20 years almost.
Sounds about right.
There's other wrestlers he managed. One was Stone Cold, actually stunning Steve Austin, as we all know, was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Really?
He managed him. Also managed Lex Luger.
Lex Luger. That is a name I have not heard in a while.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Interesting. Did he really?
Yeah, and he was the Dingo Warrior. That's where he managed him.
Who comes up with these names? The
I don't
Dingo
know.
Warrior, really?
Yeah, the Dingo Warrior.
Oh my goodness.
Coco Beware and the Junkyard Dog.
Okay.
Did not know that. And Ravishing Recruit.
Oh wow.
Did not know that either.
That is a
And
stunning list.
I was like along in NWA and stuff like that. That's past our time.
Right.
But those were other wrestlers he managed. It's like I said, it's tough between 1-2. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there'll never be another Bobby Heenan, and there will never ever be another Paul Bearer.
Now, Ant, in your opinion, what is the best moment you've seen with Paul Bearer?
Oh, actually, there are many of them actually.
There's
There's
lot.
a few that stand out to me.
All
I
right,
just
let's get your top three.
my top three. Okay,
Oof.
in no particular order.
No,
In no particular order. I mentioned two of them yesterday. I mentioned a surprise appearance by Paul Bearer because I did not expect him at WrestleMania 20 when he returned, because The Undertaker at this point had been American Badass for a few years now. And then when he made his return as with the Dead Man gimmick, he did return with Paul Bearer.
Yep.
The lights went out, and I just expected the bell, but first thing we heard was
yes.
that, and then we heard The Undertaker come out. That just him being there, was just awesome.
Yeah.
Just him being there, showing up, because again, I didn't expect it. I hadn't seen him in quite some time, so that's definitely one of them. Another one was it's tough to narrow it down, but his promos leading to the debut of Kane. Just something really haunting about those promos. I mean, you look back on it, and you know it's not real, like, as an adult, but even you kind of had this sense of nostalgia listening to them, and you remember how legitimate it felt. Like, as a kid hearing these stories, you're actually picturing what he's telling you.
Right.
You're picturing him getting back to the funeral home and it being on fire. You're picturing him guiding Kane. Through everything that he's been going through. That was phenomenal.
And that actually happened.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Nudge, nudge. Yes. Because everybody knows wrestling is real.
It's real. It's
right?
real. It's 100% real.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
And one more, let me see. Let me think about...
Let's flip a coin and let's see how the public agrees to that one.
And aside from, alright, I picked one where he was with The Undertaker, one with Kane. Just any time he came out with The Undertaker in an entrance, it was very iconic looking. I forget which one it was. Which was the one where there was like a green mist or something, like a green smoke. We saw it.
Oh, the casket match.
I think it was a casket match or something. But I'll just go back to.
It was Yokozuna, 1994.
Yeah.
The green guck's coming out of the casket.
I think so.
Man, that green guck is coming out of the casket.
But yeah.
That was it.
So let me see. I got his WrestleMania 20 appearance at number 1. Well, not number 1, just there. Number 2, not number 2, just another one. Would be his introducing Kane, and then number 3. Give me a moment here. I guess his first when he turned on The Undertaker.
Damn it! You stole my.
Okay.
That's one of them. But it was
No,
iconic.
it was.
Anybody who followed any big Undertaker fan remembers that moment.
I got you.
Because it was a big deal. I mean, for so long he had been loyal to The Undertaker, walking side by side with him, and then he just smacks him with the urn.
Yeah.
I mean, really. So, what do you can say to that?
Those are a good 3.
Yeah.
My 3, it's hot. Like WrestleMania 20 that would be my 3rd, because I did not expect him back.
Mm-hmm.
Second would be the turning on The Undertaker.
Okay.
My number 1 though are the promos up to the casket match against Yokozuna. They are creepy.
Really?
If you were a kid and Undertaker was face, but you see this double wide casket and the Undertaker looking scary as hell, and with Paul Bearer adding to it, it was just like, oh my god, I don't want to be near that casket. I don't want to be, but the promos up to it,
Right.
they were working on it. They go to the graveyard, and there's that creepy graveyard scenery.
Yeah.
That was, I think, one of the best promos.
Yeah, I always loved those. Whenever they were in the graveyard
I
or just
loved
somewhere
it.
else.
Yep.
I love it. Just building up to the casket match, and Yokozuna was freaked the hell out. Like, the look on his face is like,
Right.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't like this. Just leading up to it was great. I mean, I watched it again. We started off the show with that yesterday, and I don't want to play it again, but it was nice. You know, just the whole at one point, Yokozuna was in the ring and Vince McMahon's doing a promo with him. He's like, "You gonna squash the casket?" I'm like, "What?" And then all of a sudden, Undertaker pops out and scares Yokozuna and makes him fall, and he runs away.
Oh,
jeez. But as of Paul Bearer doing like all those promos with him, it's great. Like you don't see that stuff anymore.
Right.
Like he was actually working on the casket.
Yeah.
He's got wood, and he sent a Christmas gift to Yokozuna, and it was him just the top of the casket being finished. He's like, "Merry Christmas, Yokozuna, ho, ho, ho."
You just don't see that kind of effort anymore.
You don't see that anymore.
No.
You really don't.
But yeah, it's sad that he's gone. But like I said, there will never be never ever will ever be a Paul Bearer again.
Can we agree that wrestling has not been the same since probably 2000, maybe 2002? On there.
I always try pinpointing the year it seemed to go down. I still think since 2000, I think it had a few years left in it.
Okay.
Because I would point it up to. Boy, it's tough to say.
It
really
is. It's very tough.
Because I thought up to 2004 even it was still alright.
I thought 2003 was the pinpoint.
No, but the reason I say still 2004 was because you still had SmackDown with, at least in the beginning of 2004, you still had Kurt Angle, you still had Brock Lesnar, Chris Benoit.
Kurt Angle at his best.
You still had Evolution. You still had Chris Jericho.
I'm guessing you don't like Evolution?
I don't want to talk about Evolution.
But I mean, you look at that roster; it's still a solid roster.
Bautista.
It still is, and at this point, you have Batista's up and coming.
Yuck.
So is Randy Orton. So at this point, it was John Cena. I guess maybe 2005 it started to,
all John Cena.
No,
all John Cena.
It was at that point. It was all John Cena, all Batista, but more John Cena, obviously.
I was kind of waiting for more of a tirade there regarding John Cena. I mean,
No. I actually don't hate John Cena.
You hate him.
Don't really?
I don't hate
No,
him
he has this. He's hated him for so long that he gave up and is just taking it in that it's the year of John Cena. And guess what? We're getting that thanks to you.
I told you guys.
I blame you for this. I don't even blame the writers.
You remember
There
how much,
we go.
I don't even blame the writers. I blame you.
Well, I'm willing to take all the credit for it.
Thanks, Ant-Man.
But yeah, I would say.
And we have to witness this live too. Thanks to you.
Really? Nice.
Thanks to you.
Good,
we have
I'm
to
glad.
witness crap.
We get
with
to go to
Cena.
WrestleMania and see John Cena win the WWE Championship.
Yay!
This crap has been going on for years, so, I mean, can we just drop that axe already?
Like, I would say, if I had to pinpoint time and place, well, a certain year that it happened, I would go 2005, 2006.
Okay.
Because that's when I think, rather than focus on, because I felt like they were still focusing on the entire roster.
Okay.
They still worked with everybody they had.
Yeah.
Once they started focusing everything on John Cena and just putting him ahead of everyone else,
Right.
I kind of felt like, and it's not anything against John Cena.
No, of course.
If he makes you money, then by all means,
Yeah, absolutely.
push him. But I just felt like that was the year where I started. Raw wasn't the same anymore.
Right.
I didn't talk about it the next day with anybody or any.
Yeah.
And SmackDown, even worse. But and then Kurt Angle left. Well, just so many things happened in those years. Eddie Guerrero died. Chris Benoit went nuts and died. Kurt Angle went to TNA.
Now, was there a particular?
Well, yeah, Chris
match?
Benoit killed himself. I'm not gonna say he died. There's some people who try to cover that up. No.
Was there a particular match that actually you thought was like a pinpoint to the downfall of wrestling?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, there is.
Really?
And I do remember the match. This was a triple threat match for the WWE Championship.
Okay.
John Cena versus Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels.
I do not remember this one.
This was a Taboo Tuesday or a Cyber Sunday match.
Yeah, you're right.
And this was John Cena being christened as the
Golden Child.
The Golden Child, because I go into this and I'm thinking, all right, John Cena, he's been entertaining enough as a champ, but it's time for him to drop the title. He's going up against a former champion and Hall of Famer in Shawn Michaels. He's going up against a former champ, Hall of Famer, and Olympic gold medalist in Kurt Angle. There's no way John Cena comes out of this winning. Sure enough, John
Golden
Cena
Child wins.
comes out winning, and that's probably the match I would say almost pushed me away. And I'm not sure, that might have been 2005. Maybe 04, I'm not sure, but that was one match where I threw my arms up, and I couldn't believe it.
Did you say, I'm done? I'm done.
Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but I was fuming. Again, I'm a big Kurt Angle fan. Just wanted John Cena to lose. He didn't. But I would say that's one match that I remember. After that, I wasn't a big fan of a huge fan of wrestling anymore. Granted, I kept watching because it was on TV. But whatever.
All right, I've been saying that wrestling has been on a downfall for quite a bit, and it's not really a personal problem with the rosters. But if you think about it, I am getting so sick of the WWE with its storylines. They have got massive storylines for different wrestlers. It is getting to the point where it's just like so dramatic and annoying.
Well, you know what's funny?
It's getting so cheesy, and it's like, I mean, at one point we had, you've had somber moments with the death of Chris Benoit, with the death of Eddie Guerrero. You had great storylines with Kane, The Undertaker, The Rock. Seriously, who wants to get into a storyline with Edge and Vicky Guerrero? Give me a break with that one. You have these storylines that are just so odd. It's just like, why even bother with this?
I've always said this. The only reason why Vicky still has a job is because Eddie Guerrero's death.
Of course. Yeah.
But I keep saying, though, she's doing a good job.
She's doing a good job.
She's getting the booze that she's supposed to get.
Don't get me wrong. But like I said, if it wasn't for Eddie Guerrero, if he was still alive today, I don't think she would have a job.
Well, no, she wouldn't, because Eddie Guerrero would still be the sole provider for that family,
exactly.
and she wouldn't have to be doing
exactly.
this. But because Eddie Guerrero passed away, she needs a way to provide for her family. Of course, she's gonna keep doing.
And then she does sickening things like make out with Edge and Dolph Ziggler.
Oh my goodness!
If I was Eddie Guerrero, I'd be sick to my stomach. But.
But Eddie Guerrero knows the business. He knows
that.
Did he not try flirting around with China at one point?
Oh, yes, that is true. Yes,
it's not like
he tried. I mean, I give him credit, but as for me, well, what was your question again?
A match that pinpointed the downfall of wrestling. Now, you're saying it was 2003 for you.
A lot of people are saying 2002, 2003.
Okay.
It's just about right. It's just when Cena became the Golden Child, that's when it all went downhill. And that's just my opinion, because they focused more on the kids.
So for you, it's not a particular match. It's just
the particular guy that started this trend. I hate his guts. I hope he tears his ACL at WrestleMania, and I'll laugh.
John gets pretty violent, if you haven't noticed.
I can hear it firsthand.
He wishes injuries upon injuries, and not even like, I hope he gets a flu or something. It's like, I hope he tears his ACL and is out for months.
Out for 12 months. I'll be the happiest guy in the world. But you know what? Those 12 months I'll be so happy that we don't have to see John Cena.
He doesn't care about John Cena helping
stupid
kids.
Little things.
Of course not.
He grants every single wish. Well, of course. I mean, it's John Cena. He's the golden boy, the golden child. That's all they focus on.
Don't ever use the golden boy for John Cena. The only person who could ever use the golden boy is Oscar De La Hoya, and that's boxing, but that's a totally different story.
I forgot
expression.
About that.
It's just an expression.
It's just it, but they won't do it with anyone else. It's just John Cena this, John Cena that. Buy his merchandise. Buy his stupid purple shirt. Buy his orange shirt. Buy his hat. Buy this. Buy that. Buy this. I've had enough.
And you know what? Okay, they all sell.
Of course.
I can't.
To kids.
Does that money not mean the same thing?
And the adults who don't know crap about wrestling. Oh, this guy John Cena, I like him. He knows how to wrestle. Well, he does know how to wrestle. But at a certain point, you know what he does? 5 moves. That's it, people.
Well, he's making them. I can't understand why people forget that the WWE is a business. A business. That's what it is.
But it seems to be like it's a business that's tanking for the last few years.
It's still selling out.
Because of one person. It's amazing.
Enough with the John Cena tirade. I understand that you hate the guy, but don't blame the guy for making
I'm blaming everything on him.
You know what we need to do? We need to call the Wambulance for John right now. Because that's all he's doing. He's just, Oh, why John Cena, he pushed it.
Well, it's ridiculous because you know what? There's certain people who should get pushed right now. One's Dolph Ziggler, and you know what? WWE's just laughing at him. He keeps losing every week.
Well, they're laughing at you guys. Well, you people.
Okay,
That's who they're laughing at because they know you guys are pissed off about it.
Okay, so you're telling
I'm not.
me...
I've accepted.
I
I've
understand.
accepted of him losing. I've said it before. I'll say it again. He's gonna be on this losing. He's been the first one to lose Money in the Bank, and I'm gonna laugh at all the smarks.
I hope so.
First one to lose.
Okay, now we've already made our points to what the pinpoint...
Yes.
To what the pinpointed downfall of wrestling was. Now, take that point that you've just made. So, you're saying 2003, you're saying 2005 with John Cena. At that point, who do you think was the greatest wrestler of all time?
Kurt Angle.
HBK.
Kurt Angle, really? I'd like to know why.
Hey, legitimate. He's actually an Olympic gold medalist. I can't remember a bad match that he's ever had. He's done everything with a broken freaking neck. You know? Phenomenal on the mic. He had basically you can divide Kurt Angle's personality between two different characters. You had
We going
the
the
goofy.
Jekyll,
You had
going
the
the
goofy.
Jekyll and Hyde treatment
No,
right now?
not necessarily because it wasn't at the same time. Earlier
I
on
agree.
in his career, he was a happy dude. He was like naive, kind of childish and all that stuff. And then you get into the later part of his career, he's just this angry guy, wrestling machine, no nonsense type of dude. And just the fact that he was able to pull both of them off, to me speaks volumes that he can make this character look legitimate in just every way. And just he's the type of guy who, when he says something in the ring, you can take him seriously. When The Miz says, "I'm awesome and I'm gonna beat you," I can't take that seriously.
Okay,
but when
now,
an Olympic gold medalist,
the fact that you brought the Miz into this conversation means that I am completely losing respect for your argument.
No. I'm comparing it because the fact that Miz at some point, was the WWE champion.
I'm aware of that. Yes.
And first
why
of all,
that happened was a godforsaken.
Do not know. I do not know. My only theory is the reason they had John Cena Miz as the main event is so that nobody cares about the Miz, so they can focus on The Rock being the host of WrestleMania. But what I'm saying is this. In terms of me comparing them, when The Miz makes a threat, I can't take it seriously.
Nobody takes it seriously.
When Kurt Angle, an Olympic gold medalist, makes a threat, who's already had a career in the WWE, makes a threat, I'm not exactly going to say, "Come at me, Kurt."
Okay, are you going to mention the fact that Kurt Angle is an Olympic gold medalist every time you use his name?
But that's the thing. He threw it in your face. What I loved about him is
that was great.
What I loved
I may have thrown it in your face, but you can't use that as a basis for an argument.
But he did though.
Why
he
not?
Did. Why not?
Because you know why? Because you can't take that away from him.
He did a rap, and
I'm not saying you can take it away from the guy.
He still used it. In a rap battle, he used it. When he was feuding with John Cena, he went, "I won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck."
Yeah, I remember that.
That's awesome.
The reason I also liked, Kurt Angle's matches so much more than anyone else's, and this is including Shawn Michaels actually, is because he didn't have that spot to try and build himself up. What I mean by that is, every now and then, Shawn Michaels gets Irish whipped into the ropes. And for some reason, he'll dive into it and flip around. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I actually know what you're talking about too. Yes.
What is that? I mean, why does that not happen every time he's Irish whipped into the ropes?
Right.
Right? And then he'll do the other thing, the skin the cat, which is when he gets thrown out of the ring, but he'll hang on to the top rope and then, pull himself back in.
Right.
But in order for that to happen, the opponent wrestler has to be an idiot and look away when he throws him over the ropes.
Oh my goodness.
And I was saying to myself, come on, really? Do we really need that? And it happens in a lot of his matches. It happens in almost every Royal Rumble he's in. And you would figure, it's like the John Cena thing.
Not to take your insults away from Shawn Michaels, but he was actually part of one of my favorite matches of all time.
Don't get me wrong. This is not taking anything away from Shawn Michaels.
Wait a minute. I want to hear this, actually. What is your favorite match of all time?
I think I know.
It's one of my favorite matches of all time.
What is it?
It's my favorite match. Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. The ladder match.
Caught me off guard there. Yeah. I love that match. I love that match, but nothing tops. I've said it on here so many times. WrestleMania 12 Iron Man.
That was between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels?
Yes.
I agree. I completely agree with you there.
That is one of the best matches he's had.
Right.
There's been a lot more like Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels. But that match, it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I could watch the match again now with no problem.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times. It's like a memory in my head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people say Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Savage was also another great match. At WrestleMania,
Is it 5?
5, I think, or 4. It's 4 or 5, I believe.
We'll check that out.
I forgot. Wasn't another one Ultimate Warrior and Savage or Ultimate Warrior and Hulk
Yeah,
Hogan?
that was another one.
That was another one, but just no one knew how long they could go,
Right.
and they went an impressive hour and 3-4 minutes. The match went into overtime. You know, what more can you ask for in a wrestling match? And those two put on a great show, and I was impressed. I saw the match for the first time. I was like, I want to watch it again because it's that good. You know, that's my favorite. And the ladder match is second. That's one of my favorite ladder matches. I can watch that again. Same thing. You know,
But
and a lot of people also forget that another ladder match at SummerSlam. Razor Ramon and HBK. So, that was another good ladder match. So, that's like I said, that's one of my favorite matches from. That's my favorite. That tops any other match. You know, Taker, Shawn Michaels, the first one. The first 25, I think it was, or 26.
25.
25 was the first. That's second. If I'm going by HBK matches, that's second. The second one they had is third. You know, but they've had better matches.
Right.
If you want to really go back, you can
Shawn
go
Michaels matches?
Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
Oh, between Shawn and
You can go Shawn Michael matches if you want to go. You can put
Well, he's had a lot of them.
He's had a
Obviously,
lot of great ones. You can
against...
put Cena. Even though I can't stand the guy. They had a great Raw. I think it was in England. They went for an hour, and HBK ended up winning. I almost had a heart attack because he won.
Yeah.
So,
it's not
but
often,
that was the one in England where John Cena no-sold everything, and that's why I have a problem with him. He no-sold everything, and that's a big no-no. Right or wrong?
Oh yeah, it is.
I think he was working on the leg. He was working on his leg, and all of a sudden his leg's better in 5 seconds. I mean, you're beating him down for a good 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Beating his leg, and all of a sudden, he can walk fine.
Well, John Cena is a superhero. That's what Shawn Michaels forgot. That John Cena can heal from injuries in record time.
Garbage.
In fact, do you remember when Batista had a moment where he?
Do we have breaking news?
Oh, we do not. Unfortunately, no. It's, no.
Breaking news! I gotta get some milk.
That's actually a good one.
Nah.
Yeah, shut up, Ant-Man. Anyway.
This just didn't mark the share out for 2 months.
That was the breaking news. Yeah,
we knew that.
It says on the New York Post, it says, ouch.
Can we drop the New York Post, please? That is a garbage newspaper.
I just dropped it, you fool.
It's not as smelly as the Daily News. Get out of here, Daily News.
The Daily News is better than the New York Post.
The better at what? Sucking?
Sucking?
Go home, Daily News.
You just don't like it because you hate Mike Lupa.
Yes, that's all. That's it. Just drop Mike Lupa.
I don't hate anybody.
That is an audacious lie.
I don't hate anybody.
Despise, dislike.
You hate the Miz.
Those are synonyms for hate.
I don't even hate the Miz.
You lie. You hate the Miz.
I just tell him to go home, and I repeatedly ask why is he even on Raw. Speaking of the Miz, actually, that was some serious sidetracking there.
Yeah, whoa, way off sidetrack.
The Miz was doing commentary on this main event.
Oh God.
Yes, of course, you know what? When it comes to the Miz doing commentary, he's all right.
What?
Yeah, he's all right. I'm not saying he's good. He's all right. The reason I say that is because I would put him ahead of Jerry.
How could you say he's all right?
I would say he's better than Jerry Lawler.
Oh, Jerry Lawler's atrocious now.
Of today.
Oh, of today.
Because nowadays,
Jerry Lawler
he just doesn't care anymore. He just goes out there.
He's all about faces. He's all about faces.
It doesn't seem like he seems to care ever since JR left.
It seems that way, doesn't it? It seems like that very much so because, I mean, that was his partner for how many years? And that's definitely an interesting theory as to why maybe he doesn't have that same fire he used to.
And a quick thing, the main event. Talk about it real quick because we went 50 minutes in until he got sidetracked. I liked it. I was like, that was very good.
No, it was very
good. I liked it. Quick, Cody Rhodes beat Zack Ryder. Go figure. Oh, Cody Rhodes won a match.
First, the first thing that happened was Wade Barrett came out.
Oh.
And he plugged his movie again.
Yay.
All right. And he actually compared his movie to The Miz's. Basically, I guess something along the lines of, I'm an actual star, not some wannabe Marine or whatever, like The Miz's.
Take that.
And
at least his movie didn't get straight out to Blu-ray.
Yeah, Wade Barrett is in a movie that's actually in theaters. The Miz is Marine 3 is going straight to Blu-ray. But The Miz did mention that The Miz is actually the star of his movie, whereas Barrett is an extra. Seems to be somewhat of an extra in his movie. So take that for what it is.
We get Orton versus Barrett.
Mm-hmm. Not as good as their other matches. It was good enough. I'm not gonna. It wasn't bad. But do you remember the match where Wade Barrett actually beat Randy Orton?
Yes.
That was a better match.
Yes. Orton wins with an RKO.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes beats Zack Ryder.
Yep.
This is now Zack Ryder's fault because he decided to be smart and push me on his trunks. Not so smart, you moron.
I don't know.
He's going to get buried now every
I'm
single
just waiting
week.
for him to get fired.
Oh, he's going to get fired.
It's not like I want him to get fired, but at this point, what does he bring into the company?
Exactly. And Sin Cara beat Antonio Cesaro in a non-title match. Sin Cara looked a lot better than he has in recent months.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there because he has looked fine in recent months. Maybe health-wise. I'm going to tell you right now, Sin Cara's he hasn't botched in a while.
Okay.
He has not.
No,
I have seen his matches.
I've always said he has
had
potential.
He had a rough first year because, think about it. He's working with a new type of ring. He's working with new guys. Of course he's going to be a little, messy in the ring. It seems like he's past the learning curve now because he was incredible in this match.
Okay.
He hit everything. He had this one spot with Cesaro where it looked like he was going to get caught into a power bomb. He turned it into a flip pin, and it was just... The impact was much better than anything I've seen in recent years. Then we had another spot, he jumped over the ropes, caught him with an Hurricane Rana. Again, looked flawless. Cesaro actually looked great in this match too. I'll tell you right now, they worked really well with each other.
Oh, I'm telling you, Cesaro, I think, is the best wrestler they have right now. Next to Danny Bryan.
And I think that they should capitalize on this.
Oh, they should.
Cesaro and Sin Cara work very well together. I'd love to see more from them. Although
Definitely.
I don't know how much time they'd get. Seeing how it's main event, they do get more time than I guess they would on SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah. Or Raw, they get 5 minutes.
Right.
Who are you kidding?
So I think in this case, it was it's just a great opportunity to have these good matches. It was really good.
Yeah.
I can't get over telling you that. It was awesome. And Rob, he also sent me a message. How good was that match? It was great. It was awesome. And it was an upset, too, because Sin Cara ended up winning. And they pointed that out.
See how good our sports thing went when he's not here?
They built it up. I'm not going to make a comment on that.
Yes, you are. You know you want to.
He built it. Well, I should say Michael Cole built it by saying that's probably the biggest upset in the short history of main event.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because you have Sin Cara who's he's just been having a few matches here and there, but he did knock off a champion. So it's a big deal. And then from here, we did a Raw review with a promo between Cena and The Rock. Like I said again, main event furthers whatever Raw
of course.
does. But at least this time, they only spent about 10 minutes with that. So.
Okay.
And they did mention the Shield's attack on the Big Show after Raw.
Hey, they finally.
So.
I had a feeling they were going to do that anyway. At some point, they're going to say the Shield was going to attack the Big Show.
Right. So that was a WWE main event for you. A really good addition. 3 matches. All of them were fairly well, except Zack Ryder loses in a small amount of time, but that's usually what he's there for. But other than that, all in all, it was a good main event. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Quick news real quick around the wrestling world. There's a push for Paul Bearer to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
He said it pretty much. I think he did it.
That should be a given right there as far as we're concerned.
He's already said it. And it matters when they put him in, but he's going to be in the Hall of Fame eventually.
Yeah.
Interesting thing.
And I would figure if Paul Bearer is inducted this year, he would be the headline.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Mick Foley's right now the headline, but
if anything, Paul Bearer should trump that.
He should. Mm-hmm. He should. It's only
no pun intended. Okay.
Not saying anything bad about Mick Foley, but Paul Bearer was wrestling as probably one of the best managers, the greatest managers out there. So I think he tops Mick Foley by a mile. Don't get me wrong. I give Mick Foley credit
under
to what
the
he
circumstances.
did.
Absolutely.
So or there's still creative plans to turn Randy Orton heel. don't get it. It'll take place after WrestleMania. Not shocking. I've seen him heel. It's the same crap. You know, I've seen him heel. It's nothing impressive. You can be in WWE's WrestleMania music video.
Who?
Well, you can be in it.
Me?
Yeah, you can be in it. We can be in it. Don't ask me how.
Oh, goodness.
I don't get it.
If we were talking 10, 15 years ago, we probably would consider it.
Yeah, right? Ric Flair did a shoot interview.
Who cares? Well, he's gonna rip everyone. That's all he ever does. Whenever he says a shoot interview, he criticizes the world, talking about how he's better than them.
Yeah,
It's the same old, same old.
2009 to 2002 shoot. And WWE donated to the Sandy Hook Relief Fund.
Very nice, very nice.
Very nice of them. Update on Rey Mysterio being injured again? Yes. And
Rey Mysterio's healed. No!
No! And Zack Ryder sends a message to Vince McMahon. Hey Vince, what do you think of my new trunks?
Not a good
And
move,
it says,
Zack.
not a...
Wah.
Yeah, that's not a good move, Mr. Ryder.
Obviously, Vince didn't like him.
Yes.
That's
Obviously.
Yeah,
Uh,
to say the least.
As in Rey Mysterio's knee is reportedly in bad shape. Yes! But Dr. James Andrews, damn it, has told him he can continue to wrestle. Ugh, damn it! Without having surgery. But he will have to wear a new brace.
Yeah,
that we noted earlier.
I've seen a
Ray
picture.
originally told WWE officials that he tore his knee up and was advised by a doctor that he would need surgery. Triple H advised Ray to visit Andrews, and that's where he was told that he would not need surgery. Triple H.
Well done,
yeah.
Triple H.
Yes.
Well done.
You know,
Well played.
not well played. Not well played. Who wants to see him do do off the top rope? Now he doesn't even jump.
That's
He just
his
goes.
thing. That's the
Ugh.
noise he makes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh well, I did see a picture of the brace. It's pretty big. It's a big funky looking brace.
It's a funky looking
It
brace.
is. If you've seen this thing, you can't hide it under a pair of pants. So there's
So
no
you're
way.
saying it resembles kind of one of his masks? Is that what you're saying?
It does not wear his mask. I don't know why I remember it being kind of colorful. It was like a blue or whatever. But it was a big one. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how that works.
Just
it's
retire.
too bad because I did hear reports of Ray's old doctor. He really screwed up his knee.
Good.
Man.
Good. Hope he screws it up some more. Retire.
Something else.
No,
no, he's already.
no doctor.
I
It's
believe
like
he's
Dr.
already.
James Andrews.
He was already something with malpractice or something. He's already. I think he's being sued.
Well, you know what? We're not getting our match at WrestleMania with Sin Cara versus Rey Mysterio. So you know what? Who cares? Top 25 rivalry DVD will be coming out shortly.
Interesting.
From
From the WWE.
Yep. This is
Okay.
from the WWE, and it has.
John Cena Rock, number 1.
How about Rock versus Triple H?
Ooh.
As number 1.
No, not even. They didn't release anything yet.
They didn't
It's-
release any order. Okay.
It's Raven versus Tommy Dreamer's on there, the Hardy Boys, Team 3D, and Edge and Christian.
You mean? Oh, excuse me. The Dudley Boys.
Sorry, the Dudley Boys.
Yes.
And Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Those are just
Just a sample. There.
a sample there.
Well, I'm sure we can come up with the rest of that list. There's quite a few that they
Brett and
can't,
Sean.
they can't possibly.
Yeah, that's got it's one right there. They have,
It's
it, they
gotta
have
be,
their
it's
own
gotta
DVD.
be.
They have their own DVD of it.
And what makes that feud so much better is the fact that there seem to be, well, there was legitimate heat between the two.
Right.
They did seem to not like each other backstage. Respected each other, sure, but they didn't get along at all. So I think that's what gave the rivalry some extra juice.
Okay. Submission match planned for Extreme Rules. Swagger versus Del Rio will be continuing after WrestleMania 29, and a submission match that is planned for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, which is kind of lame because at Extreme Rules, everything
Should be hardcore.
Yeah. Submission match? Are you kidding me?
Nah.
Submission match. At a hardcore event.
I don't know what to tell you.
Ooh, that's so hardcore.
Unless like they use a chair to like wrap around.
Yay. We haven't seen that before.
Or a chain.
Mr. Sandow has given New Age Outlaws till noon tomorrow
To accept the challenge?
to accept the
They're gonna
challenge,
accept the challenge.
or back out. And backstage note on Mr. Ziggler. while Miz and Ric Flair continue their angle together on Monday's Raw, word is that we should not read too much into that. And the thing is,
Of course not. It's the
to
Miz.
really think about is why Dolph Ziggler has not only been on his losing streak, but has gotten limited interview time and didn't even get an entrance on Raw.
Yeah.
What is going on?
No, that's another thing. On Main Event, Miz kept calling Ric Flair his mentor.
God.
Oh,
Woo! Nature boy!
But I will give him this. Maybe he is the mentor because The Miz does wrestle like a 60-year-old Ric Flair.
He does.
Oh my goodness.
God, I'm done.
Except he can't even lock in the figure 4 leg lock the right way.
That was kind of funny.
Now, are we saying that the Miz's wrestling is post-tough enough? Or is it pre-tough enough?
Maybe pre-tough enough.
I don't know.
It's a good possibility. But, also, more news that...
I caught him off guard.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
He's like, wait a minute.
While you think about that, there's a feeling that some in WWE that Fandango won't even debut.
I hope that's
And
not
I'm
the truth.
starting to agree that he will never debut.
They can't possibly. And knowing WWE, they have done this in the past. But I just
He's
don't.
not going to debut.
They should. He should debut.
Because
he will be the greatest. He will be the greatest of all time.
You're fired. Get out of my
He'll
show.
be
Get off
amazing.
my show.
He'll be phenomenal.
This is now the Carlos and John show.
He's going to have the best theme music ever. And he's going to have the longest title reign in WWE history.
And the door's there. The door is
he's
there.
And he's going to run into Stone Cold Steve Austin at one point and put his mic skills to shame. He's going to make Stone Cold look like John Cena.
People who are listening, skip like the first 10 seconds of this and then continue watching on the show. Anyway, hope he doesn't debut. Ryback versus...
Well, what if he debuts and injures Rey Mysterio? Would you be happy?
No.
You wouldn't.
Fandango, come on.
What?
Fandango,
He
he's
could
not
just
a powerhouse.
dance all over Rey Mysterio's knee and it'll hurt.
He'll dance all over and get a new gimmick.
And
please.
Fandango isn't a powerhouse.
Viewers?
He's not a powerhouse?
He's not a powerhouse.
Are you kidding? Look at him. He's jacked.
No, he's not. He's got like a 6-pack going, but come on, who would win in a fight?
He's got a good build. He's got a good build.
Let me just drop the hammer on the nail because since when do jacked wrestlers do well in the WWE?
Well, Brock Lesnar's jacked.
Brock Lesnar's jacked.
Triple H has been jacked.
F Brock Lesnar. He's been irrelevant for years.
Whoa, wait a second.
Well, he's relevant.
He's relevant now.
Irrelevant.
No.
Irrelevant. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Batista's another one. Super jacked. Look, I'm not saying these people got their muscles naturally.
Did I make that inclination? I never said that at all.
I'm just saying, the WWE every now and then likes to have that jacked wrestler up there.
Yeah,
although,
but jacked wrestlers don't
I'm
perform.
also not saying that Fandango is as jacked as, let's say, Ryback or anything.
Fandango.
He's in good enough shape. He's in good enough shape. You can say that all you want. He'll be the greatest.
Yeah, right. Won't debut next.
He will. But what I'm saying is that he's in good enough shape, and no, he's not that good. He's ballroom. He's more
a ballroom dancer gimmick. Who cares?
And
who cares?
Ballroom dancers have some of the best endurance out there.
It'll be a stupid gimmick that'll run its course, and then I'll find another gimmick for him as he comes back as let's see what else.
He's gonna stay Fandango.
He'll come back as a baseball player. Who's giving up on baseball and wants to wrestle.
Did you make that statement that ballroom dancers have the best endurance just based off of Dancing with the Stars?
No. They have some of the... No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, at least we're on to something now.
Dancers in general have very good endurance. And they're some of the best... They're in just incredible shape. And I put them, another one is swimmers, they don't get the credit. They're in phenomenal shape. They look skinny, but I mean, is there anyone in better shape, really?
They're in phenomenal shape, despite the the intake of food that they.
Yes.
I mean, have you seen Michael Phelps's?
I have, and that just shows you.
Oh my goodness!
Just what incredible shape he's in, that he can eat all that and still look the way he is. That metabolism is ridiculous. It really is.
I have nothing to say to that. I've seen the way Michael Phelps looks. He looks ridiculous, but my God, just his arms are like out to there.
I bet if Fandango competed in the Olympics,
Stop it!
He'd clean house.
Stop it! Next.
Sign him up, Team USA.
Ryback versus Mark Henry match for WrestleMania 29 is looking good. They will actually let Ryback get a win on a pay-per-view.
Okay.
It appears Ryback
That's
turning
right,
heel.
if I think about it.
Ryback turning heel is dropped for now. We noted how Rey Mysterio feared he had torn ACL in his good knee a few weeks back, but was told by Dr. Andrews that he wouldn't need surgery and can wrestle with the help of a special knee brace. While he'll be able to wrestle, we likely won't see him in the ring for a while. Yes! For what it's worth, stop shaking your head. Stop shaking your head. For what it's worth, Ray and WWE officials have been on very good terms as of late, and they have been begging him to come back. I don't know why. You don't really need him. It said that officials, at least this week, do not want him to leave or consider him a company man for life, even after he retires.
This is all Rey Mysterio.
Yep. Okay. Just retired. Do me the favor. You had a great WCW legacy, great matches in WCW. When you went to the WWE,
I'm just waiting for Ryback to turn heel, and then for Rey
destroy him.
He destroys everybody, and then Rey Mysterio is the one to beat Ryback.
I will. That's when I stop watching wrestling. When I stop watching wrestling.
The day Rey Mysterio beats Ryback in a clean match.
This show will turn into a sports show only. Wrestling will never be talked about again. And that's it. It'll be just a sports show. And if that ever happens, you're fired.
I essentially did something close to that. When Rey Mysterio was in that feud with Kane, I said to myself,
that was a joke.
I know exactly where this is going.
Happen.
I'm not watching any segment involving these two. Because I know what they're going to do.
It was a joke.
It is.
It was a joke. Really, Rey Mysterio can beat that kind of a man? Come on. Come on, man.
Like, we know WWE's supposed to be like a fantasy thing, but are you really?
Really?
Not even kids will buy that.
No, I didn't buy it. It was a joke. It was a joke.
I mean, can you imagine a kid seeing Rey Mysterio beat Kane, and then he gets the confidence, hey, oh, cool, so that means I could beat up someone who's like twice my size.
Yes.
You give them this confidence, and then they go and get destroyed.
Yeah.
And you can blame the WWE for giving them hope.
Yep. Hope. Hope is the key word. And hope's the key word for...
Well, false hope, because, I mean, hope is good, but when you... Yeah, Rey Mysterio would never beat somebody like Kane. I'm sorry.
No, definitely not. That does it for wrestling pretty much. SmackDown's tomorrow, TNA's tonight. Give me a gun to my head.
No. TNA is phenomenal.
Give me a gun to my head.
Total non-stop action.
I have to watch this garbage and review it, so...
You're not going to watch it anyway.
Absolutely not. I'll watch it with you.
Yeah, I don't want to watch TNA.
On to sports again. Obviously, we talked about the Yankees and Toronto. Was it Monday we talked about them?
I believe so, yes.
Quick take, Carlos. What's your preview of the Yankees and the Blue Jays this year?
Blue Jays made some great offensive acquisitions. I mean, okay, they got Jose Reyes. They got what's his name? They got Josh Johnson.
Yep.
What are you laughing at with the Jose Reyes? Okay.
No, I'm not saying.
Okay, I was about to say.
I was about to say though that oddly enough, you're in the group of people who don't see the Blue Jays making a move this year.
I don't, because I'm just not sold on new acquisitions making an impact that quickly.
Well, I think it's going to take 2 to 3 years to make everything right in Toronto.
That's a good possibility, but then again, you look at National League players trying to do well in the American League. Who has been the latest good example to come off of that?
A National League not doing well in the American League?
No, a National League player doing well in the American League.
Doing well in the American League. All right, let's see here. Well, there's been quite a few that didn't do well.
Yes, thank you, but that's not what I asked you.
That's generally
That is not what I asked you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, stop changing the question.
I'm trying to think back. I'm not changing the question. I'm just acknowledging that it usually goes the other way around.
It does.
Look,
it is normally the other way around. How an AL player would do good in
obviously,
the NL.
Obviously, I'm sore at the fact the Mets had to give up R.A. Dickey. Okay, he won the Cy Young.
But
he was their top.
But we'll get to the Mets in a bit.
He was their top pitcher.
Oh, I know. We'll get to them. We'll get to that.
I'm
later.
just right now. I'm not sold on Toronto. Right now, their best pitcher is Brandon Morrow. Okay, the guy's a strikeout machine, but Toronto, I see them finishing third in the
American League.
In the American League East, if anything. And all right, with the Yankees, I am getting so sick of these talks with how the injuries have been plaguing the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
It's the early portion of March, people. Get over it.
Yeah,
the
right.
point is,
But they are being
Teixeira
plagued,
is
though.
out. News came
they're
yesterday.
being plagued, but it's early in March. If we were talking somewhere along the lines of like June or July, okay, then it's time to panic.
Well,
Well, the problem with that,
Teixeira
though,
out. News came out yesterday that Teixeira's out for 2 months,
right.
which hurts a little bit.
It hurts. It does.
You know, he won't be
Absolutely.
back till May or
Right.
June. Hopefully, well, if everything works out, maybe earlier.
Right
but
now, with his physique, I'd lean towards the 8 weeks instead of the 10 weeks. I think he's going to be back much sooner.
yeah, that's how I see it. I think 8 weeks will be just about right for him. Your take on the Yankees right now, the way the state of the address, as they would call it, or
Look,
the preview.
The preview is nothing to sneer at, of course. They are plagued with injuries. Okay, it's remarkable that Eduardo Nunez is having a great spring training, but then again, what's that going to mean for the regular season?
Oh, of course.
I don't think it's going to mean anything. I think it's
feel
going to
like
tank.
every time I see him in the infield, I cringe because I know either an overthrow to first base is coming, or he's just going to let a ground ball go right past
first
him.
base.
It's every time.
Okay, so right now you would definitely see them. You would see Eduardo Nunez and Kevin Youkilis alternating their spots.
So here's what I see. This is how I see the Yankees' defensive alignment going. I do see Jason Nix working third base,
Okay.
alternating with Eduardo Nunez.
All right, that's understandable.
I feel like Youkilis is going to be the first baseman until Teixeira gets back.
You don't see him playing third base at least once?
No, I do every now and then.
Okay.
Every now and then I do.
He's got it because Euclid, 34 now, correct?
I believe so.
35.
yes.
He's getting old.
That's why I say first base would
Like
be a
old
better
age,
place.
gets
He's
to you
not-
at some point.
You don't want him at that hot corner at that age.
Exactly, definitely
That's
not.
what I'm saying. Keep him at first base until Tex gets back.
That's why I think the David Wright contract.
You're telling me he wouldn't pull a Scott Rowland? Scott Rowland's done pretty well at the hot
I'll
corner
tell
at
you
his
what.
old age.
No, and Youkilis has in the past too.
He has.
I've seen him play third base with the games against the Yankees, and again, even though he's aged, even though he doesn't look like the most mobile guy and isn't, he still has whatever's in his range, he gets it. And I have yet to see an error where he actually costs his team the game. I can't say the same for Eduardo Nunez. I actually went to a game where he cost us the game because of he just let a ball go right between his legs.
Buckner.
Okay, just
No, it wasn't between his legs. He barely reached over for it. He was trying to play it off nicely.
Just
that's
out of
amazing.
curiosity, who were they playing?
This was a game against oh boy, was it the Orioles? I think it was the Orioles.
Okay.
It was the Orioles. It was man. Can't
At
believe
least it was against a competitive team.
it was a competitive team.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't against like a scrub team or anything. It was a
Okay, that's good
team.
enough.
So just quickly, you say Toronto is going to take time.
So you see Tampa Bay getting second place.
We'll get to Tampa in a second.
I do not. I see Baltimore taking second place.
Okay.
That's our next team we're actually going to cover.
That's interesting.
I just want to
because a lot of people think that they didn't do enough in the off season, but I think they're still.
They didn't, but they still have a good.
They still have a dangerous
we'll get
team,
to
yeah.
Baltimore in a second.
Yeah.
I just want to see your. This is the lineup for 2012. That's what the Yankees, their 2012 opening day lineup was. Jeter, Granderson, Cano, A-Rod, Teixeira, Swisher, Ibanez, Martin, Gardner.
Mhm.
Now you look at this year's 2003 potential starting lineup. It's Garner, Nunez, Suzuki, Cano, Euclid, Diaz, Cervelli, Nix, and Mesa.
Mm.
Wow. What a change. This is assuming if Derek Jeter's not available.
Right. Like I said, I would assume that
That assumption is going to be thrown right out the window. I see Jeter coming back.
This squad
at least in a limited role. Maybe as DH.
Excuse me
in the
as I
first
say
couple games.
this. Horrible. This could be one of the worst lineups I've ever seen for the New York Yankees.
I think it's the fact that you read the Post. That's what makes it horrible. I think that's why.
You and the Daily News.
You and the
No, it is definitely not the usual Yankee lineup. It does look pretty bad because of the injuries. I mean, come on, you have 3 Yankees who are on the DL. I mean, Alex Rodriguez, obviously, you know his case. But Mark Teixeira and Curtis Granderson. And I'd like to throw out that I missed my fantasy draft yesterday. And the computer picked all 3 of those Yankees. Why don't you just pick the whole DL list for me, MLB.com fantasy?
Oh my
Go ahead.
goodness.
Come on, Mark Teixeira.
My computer liked me. I got Albert Pujols out of that.
I'm happy with Miguel Cabrera.
You're happy the fact that you got Albert Pujols in your lineup?
Yep.
You don't think he's gonna have like some sort of a mediocre season with LA?
We'll get to them. We'll get to them in a bit, but
I want to hear an answer to this one.
I think he'll hit his 20, 25, 30 home runs.
Okay.
Well, he'll bat at least 250 to 280. You know.
That's too high of a range for me. I'm gonna go anywhere between 260 and 270.
I say 280.
I'm gonna go 270.
280,
I'm gonna lean towards 270.
So basically, you guys think he's gonna have another subpar year?
I do.
Subpar year, but I think the home runs will come.
If anything, I think Josh Hamilton's gonna trump him.
Okay, that'd be interesting to see. Actually,
it would. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really excited to see that.
We know that the Angels have a stacked lineup.
Yeah,
they do.
But actually, you know what? Enough with the but. I'm gonna pick them to win the AL West.
Well, we'll get to that in a second as we get to Baltimore now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I don't understand. Look, I know they had a lack of acquisitions this offseason, but I don't see why they're just being thrown aside by so many analysts. You know, I mean, Buck Showalter.
Okay, I'm just curious. Which analysts?
Just in general. I mean, look. I mean, even in this book right here, third place. They have him at third. And
that's a tough call, but I can understand why.
Mm-hmm. But because I still think Buck Showalter, whatever he has to work with, he can make it work.
He does well.
He can make it work. Like I said, I give more credit to Buck Showalter than Joe Torre for the Yankees' run in the 90s.
Absolutely.
Because he's the one who brought up Derek Jeter just watch the playoff game.
Yeah.
He's the one who got, under his leadership is when they got Paul O'Neill. Let's say Bernie Williams was up and coming. Jorge Posada was another up and coming star at that time. And then the very next year, Joe Torre just comes in and...
Not to completely sidetrack you, but going back to the Yankees, one thing I don't want to see from the Yankees this season, okay, I do watch Yankees games, aside from being a Mets fan, of course, but one thing I would hate to see from the Yankees, and it is so predictable because I see it every season, even my father sees this with me whenever we're watching games. If I see Joe Girardi pull a starting pitcher out after throwing like 100 pitches or going like, what's it called? Well, actually, let me rephrase. If I see Joe Girardi pull a pitcher after giving up 6 runs, specifically 6 runs, I'm just going to blow a gasket because he does that every single time a pitcher throws 6 runs.
Breaking news.
That was a big one.
That is not a breaking news, sorry. That is just an email alert.
No breaking news.
No breaking news at all. No.
No, I have seen that quite a bit as well.
I am getting so sick and tired with the predictability. If you see a pitcher getting steamrolled, pull him out, put somebody in the bullpen. They'll at least have a better job of doing it than the starting pitcher. But that's one thing I don't want to see from the Yankees because I'm just getting sick of the predictability.
Well, I would imagine you're gonna see more of that.
Because
the truth of the matter is,
I'm not surprised because Joe Torre did it for so many seasons, and it must have rubbed off on Joe Girardi.
Maybe it did.
It's just really
It's just I guess it would be they just want to preserve the bullpen. I would figure that's it. Like the only case I can understand it is,
would you see?
Let's say you have CC on the mound.
Okay.
All right, and he's having an off day.
Yes.
He gives up 6 runs, and you still see CC in the game.
Yeah.
The reason I would figure they will leave CC in there is because let's say the next pitcher is Phil Hughes.
Okay.
You don't know what he's going to give you tomorrow.
Right.
So it's possible that maybe, and I'm just saying I'm not excusing what he does because there's a lot of moments where I flip out too. Why is he still in the game? But I would figure they want to save the bullpen for the less reliable starters. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of long relievers?
But that's the thing, though. I mean, would you rather use your long reliever in a game with CC Sabathia, or do you want to have him just in case Phil Hughes can't get out of the third.
I would use him.
You would use him.
I would. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
If I see any pitcher, getting steamrolled early, just don't make it to the point where they give up 6 runs.
Okay.
Well, John Neese got crushed in a spring training against Venezuela.
Now, why would you bring that up?
Just saying.
It is spring training.
I would have took him out the first pitch.
Put him in relief. Just get a reliever before the game starts.
Yes, get a reliever before the game starts.
Would you have preferred that we recalled Brian Stokes, or at least brought him from whatever team he's in right now, and just make him pitch?
Yeah, make him pitch.
Really? I mean, that's...
See, but that's why I wouldn't start John Neese against Venezuela. You know you're going to get killed.
It's spring training.
I understand
it's more of a tune-up. It's a tune-up.
It's a tune-up game.
No, but it's a tune-up game for Venezuela.
I understand that.
This means absolutely nothing to the Mets.
Means nothing. I know, but still, that's not a good. You want to put a so-so pitcher against Venezuela?
Why not?
No. That's like putting in Strasburg against Venezuela.
And
I think actually Strasburg would work out. I think he'd actually pitch a very good game
against Venezuela.
Yeah,
I think he'd have no shot.
Really?
I think he would struggle early.
I don't know.
Have you seen the lineup for
Venezuela? I've seen the lineup against Venezuela. It's strong. I understand that, but I see Strasburg.
You take any major league pitcher, an ace. You put them against any
Japan,
any country. You put them against Japan. You put them against Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Venezuela. I think Strasburg, or a pitcher like Strasburg, would lose against every single one of those teams.
Interesting.
Except for, let's say, the Netherlands, Canada, Italy, Spain for some reason. I don't know why they're in the World Baseball Classic, first of all.
No, but
that's a crowning achievement. But then again, I saw that lineup, and I'm wondering what MLB prospect is in that lineup. I only know of one
You got a point.
person, but I mean...
I want to get back to on track with the AL East. Baltimore obviously had that magic going last year.
Absolutely.
They did lose Mark Reynolds, which is kind of a tough loss.
No, I don't see that as a tough loss.
I mean, why is everyone going to Cleveland?
Because they got the money, apparently.
Right.
But
Cleveland's never going to win a World Series, though.
I'm just curious to know why you think Mark Reynolds is a tough loss. I don't see it as a tough loss. The guy strikes out way too often.
He does, but I mean, he had okay numbers.
Okay numbers. He was batting under 240, wasn't he?
But I think, didn't he have a lot of home runs, though?
He had about 35, I think.
Yeah, give me a second.
Well, that does help. That does help.
You consider that helpful when you're striking out over 200 times?
35 home runs, timely home runs, though, like if they're when you need them. And obviously the Orioles did get enough hits that they did make the playoffs. And, I mean, again, I'm not saying Mark Reynolds is MVP material or anything.
He's not.
But I feel
that's not even close.
But I feel like he did have enough power to help the Orioles in there.
Well, he averaged 221 and had 23 home runs. That is pathetic.
That's pathetic.
How many RBIs?
69, according to this.
Okay.
So you're gonna retract your previous statement?
Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, he's had some good years. Last year, I mean, it wasn't too hot, but I mean, I figured they trust him enough because he's been there a while, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I figure they feel like maybe last year was an off year, and he'll do better this year.
Like I
but
said,
again, obviously not. He just got injured. So.
They did have magic. They picked up. Obviously, T.J. McFarland in the Rule 5 draft.
Okay.
Danny Valencia from a trade. And outfielder Trayvon Robinson.
Yeah. Trayvon Robinson, yeah.
They don't have the same. I mean, J.J. Hardy at short. Brian. That's the other one I was talking about. He had some good moments.
Brian Roberts is a good player. He's one of those underrated players.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He just had a few bad breaks, injuries. And
That injuries killed this team.
That is a player that you will see consistency any way you look at it.
Yeah.
What's the guy averaging now? Like 290?
182 last year.
Well, I mean, you look at the other seasons, he's averaged more or less 280,
definitely.
285.
He only played 17 games last year?
Yeah, he was injury plagued.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't he have that concussion? Wasn't the concussion year? Yeah.
Something like that. What could go right for the Orioles?
They're hitting.
Oilers.
It's the
Sorry, the Oilers. Sorry.
Oilers.
I was thinking about hockey.
Oilers.
I was thinking about Oreos. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Baltimore Orioles. Sorry. But you know what? I'm gonna name the team. If I ever have control of a GM, I'm naming
The one
Baltimore
thing you gotta
Orioles,
look
okay?
at. The one positive thing, actually, the two positive things you gotta look at with the Orioles. One, Buck Showalter's the manager.
Yes.
Second is their hitting.
Oh, of course. And I think they can build from last year.
Yeah.
Now,
They have that keyword, momentum.
I'm just curious. I'm trying to remember their pitching rotation.
Pitching.
They still have Guthrie.
Jason
right?
Hamill, Yan Chen,
Okay.
Chris Tillman, Miguel Gonzalez, and Brian Matsutz.
Brian Mattis. Yeah.
That's our and the bullpen. That's I think the problem.
Yeah.
Who they got?
But I mean, even that starting
Darren
lineup.
O'Day, Pedro Strop, Jimmy Johnson, Troy
Okay.
Patton, and Luis Ayala.
Okay.
And
Oh, Luis Ayala.
yes, Luis Ayala. There we go.
No, former Yankee. How about that?
Yeah, former Yankee. And the prospects, I guess their big ones, Bundy. Sorry.
Okay.
9 wins, 3 losses last year, 2.08 ERA.
Yeah, I think the hitting's gonna get him out of some games, but
It
I
seems
hear
like-
I hear that pitching staff and I start to cringe a little bit.
Well, I think
Yeah, it's not
the
impressive.
key word
No
is
real aces.
their Dylan Bundy is their key prospect, and they say he should be already.
So
he should-
basically, you look at that lineup and Brian Mattis is their ace. But
Yes.
I gotta tell you, that scares me a little bit.
Well, the projected lineup, as they don't have an actual lineup here, but Adam Jones center field, Nick Marakis in right field, Nate
Markakis.
McLeod. Thank you. Told you I'm not good with names.
Killing
Shut up.
me. Killing me.
Do you want a Ric Flair chop?
You can't do it for first.
I just
All
did
right,
it.
anyway, as we
Chris Davis at first, Brian Roberts at second, J.J. Hardy at short,
okay,
Manny Machado at third,
okay,
Matt Withers behind the plate, and
Withers.
designated hitter, thank you, and Wilson Bettman at
Bettman.
DH.
Wilson Betemede, really? They got
DH.
Wilson Betemede because. Oh no! Wait, I'm confusing him with Yuniesky Betancourt. That's right.
How do you get those two mixed up?
That's a good question. I was just thinking of that right now. I'm just curious, but
Key losses: Mark Reynolds, Joe Saunders, and Robert Andino.
oh, Robert Andino, that was a good player, good outfielder.
Oh, he's with the Mariners now, so
Interesting.
it's are they playoff bound again?
Are they playoff bound? I would say yes, considering the fact Buck Showalter's back and they've got a
Interesting.
decent hitting lineup.
Interesting. Next we have Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay's a tough one. They got a good pitching staff, but I'm not really sold on their
90
hitting.
wins did not make the playoffs. 90 wins, you don't make the playoffs.
You're talking the AL East here.
I know. It's the AL East, I know.
I mean,
Pitching, they're always good with pitching.
Pitching, they're always good with pitching. I mean,
And they don't have to worry about James Shields this year anymore.
Yep, that's the. Was the
that
key
might be a tough
factor.
loss for them. He was actually pretty good.
I
We're getting a disagreement now.
Yeah.
I love this.
Well,
mean,
he
this was
he did go to the Royals. They did have some key losses with B.J. Upton going to the Braves.
that was a big one.
Wade Davis going to the Royals, but additions of Will Myers, who I guess is from Kansas City, correct? Was that the big?
Will Myers
Was he the big prospect?
might have been. I'm not sure. I'm not too big on prospects.
Yes, he is from Kansas City. That's who the Mets were going to go after.
Okay.
Because they wanted R.A. Dickey, but they wanted him, and Kansas City didn't want to give him up.
Interesting.
He had 37 home runs, so he was the key to,
You can see why they wanted him.
yes, 109 RBIs too, so we can't go wrong with that.
Okay, so what's their lineup looking like?
Lineup, here we go. Left field, Sam Floyd. Desmond Jennings in center field, Matt Joyce in right. Ben Zubrist is playing second, James Looney at first, Junel Escobar at shortstop, Evan Longoria playing third, Jose Molina behind the plate, and Ryan Roberts as their DH.
All right, I hear this lineup, and I gotta admit, I might have to change my view of the AL East. I might actually have to pick Tampa finishing fourth.
Okay.
and Toronto possibly taking third.
All right.
Interesting.
I mean,
I mean,
what is this? What is this lineup? This lineup seems like it was revamped within one season.
Well, the whole thing is Will Meyer, if he's ready or not. If he's ready, then awesome.
I don't think it'll matter.
Puts power into the lineup.
Could put power into the lineup, but then again,
But who knows how it'll last in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Like I said,
pitching is reliable. But we know that the AL is more power hungry than they are pitching wise.
what could go right for Tampa?
I think it's just their pitching. I
Yeah.
honestly see that as the only way.
Chances are the pitching will remain strong, so if Myers quickly emerges as the offensive force and the Rays rediscover their stellar defense that has been common in the Madden era, Tampa Bay could earn their fourth playoff berth in 6 seasons.
I'm not sold. I gotta pick them for the bottom of the tier, at least in the AL East.
What could go wrong?
It's an unknown lineup.
It is. It's very unknown.
You don't know what this team is gonna do.
Upton's departure displeads
That's a
an
problem.
already economic offense and defense.
And if I recall
decline.
correctly, didn't Longoria just get a new
Yes.
contract?
And he also was injured
That
last year.
might affect him.
He was also injured last year. If Longoria continues to be the AL's version of Ryan Zimmerman, a terrific... Ooh, breaking news again.
No, don't even try that.
Breaking news again. A terrific two-way third baseman who struggles to stay healthy, the Rays will be in trouble.
Okay.
I would say so.
So you see them as a playoff team?
The Rays?
If everything goes
Rays,
right,
I would say no.
if everything goes right for them, I can see them in. But if everything goes downhill for them, absolutely not.
I think in order for them to make the playoffs, everything has to go right.
I think the key losses were James Shields and B.J. Upton. You know, B.J. Upton is now on Atlanta. Great, he gets to kill the Mets now. And James Shields, he was okay last year. You know, pitching wise.
Certainly not the big game James Shields that he was always made out to be for some reason. I don't understand where that nickname came from. I mean, he was a big game pitcher earlier, like a few years ago, but recently...
I mean, David Price won 20-5 last year, so...
Yeah.
But as for the other pitchers, you see as Jeremy Heckelson, who went 10... Thank you. Who only went 10-11. Alex Cobb only went 11-9.
First time I heard of Alex Cobb.
Yeah, right? And that's pretty much it. I mean, the wins and losses, you know, you give it to Price, but you only have one ace.
That's true, yeah.
You know? So, I say if everything goes right, they're in. If everything goes wrong, they're out.
I say they're out right now.
Interesting. I'm like I said, I'm in between. I can't really choose. Ant-Man?
Well, I told you, in order for them to make the playoffs, I think everything has to go right. You can't have any hiccups. You can't have any serious injuries. You said they only have one ace?
Yep.
I do think they might get lucky, and from that rotation, you'll get another, dependable starter. But that's about all I think they're going to get.
Yeah, okay. I agree.
And I think, fourth place sounds about right to me.
And let's go to the first Yankees game who they're going to face is Boston.
The Boston Red Sox, yes.
They have them fifth, 69-93, fifth in the AL last year, and that's where they're going to stay.
No, wait, what was their record?
69-93.
69-93.
Mm-hmm.
This season, I have them taking at least 75. But I still see them ending
in last place.
Oh, they're going to be fifth. Oh, I see nothing.
The biggest improvement that they have done this offseason was getting rid of Bobby Valentine. And it...
Yes.
No, I wanted them to keep Bobby Valentine.
Yeah, I wanted to keep Valentine.
So they keep losing.
Obviously, John Lackey, thank God the Mets didn't sign him, showed pretty much I think he was awful last year.
Yep.
Just awful in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
An awful teammate. He
was so bad
pitcher.
they don't have his stats from last year.
They're obsolete.
Some book, right?
Really? That's...
Just going around the horn real quick. Johnny Gomes in left. Jacob Ellsbury, who's a free agent next year.
Jacoby Ellsbury.
Jacoby, sorry. Shane Victorino on right, you stupid pineapple head. At first base.
What do you got against the Hawaiians there?
He killed the Mets, that's the problem.
Oh, give me a break.
He was a Met killer. Dustin Pedroia at second. Stephen Drew at short. Will Middlebrooks at third. Mike Napoli at first. Wow. Come on, man. Say this last name.
Jared Saltalamacchia.
Thank you.
Eat it.
Jared Saltalamacchia.
Yeah, he's been there. He's
Yes, he has.
he's been there for a while now.
But not for nothing, I would probably put Mike Napoli as catcher, if anything.
And DH, of course, Fatty David Ortiz.
Hey, David Ortiz is making his money. Okay, so that's.
Yeah, maybe him, Undertaker, Rey Mysterio, and Mark Henry all
Why
eat
bring
Twinkies
wrestling
together.
into a baseball conversation?
Yeah, right?
That's just insulting.
I
That's
just
insulting.
want to just make a quick. Undertaker has gotten a little chubby, and Mark Henry's fat, and
I could care less.
Rey Mysterio has to wear suspenders now, so I guess they all go out together, eat a bunch of Twinkies and brownies.
Oh my goodness, this is. Where's this conversation?
I'm just
gone?
kidding. I'm just
This
kidding.
is-
Isn't that Rob's idea? Rob's usual thing.
Yeah, right.
We're having a sports discussion and he brings in wrestling out of
He
nowhere.
brings in wrestling out of nowhere. But I think that's kind of funny. Obviously,
John just
I'm
doesn't.
gonna
John
be
doesn't like.
honest.
John doesn't like fat people. That's what it is.
I'm gonna be honest. I look at that lineup,
Be a star, John.
and that lineup seems more defensive oriented than it seems offensive.
hitting wise,
That lineup is not gonna, scare anybody.
pitching.
No, it's not.
I really did enjoy what happened before, though. 2 years ago, people were calling me crazy, saying that I was saying that the Red Sox they're overrated, because with the acquisitions of Carl Crawford and Adrian Gonzalez, I was telling them, look, they just added 2 big bats. They didn't add any pitchers. Their bullpen looks okay.
Shaky.
And I'm telling you right now, I mean, I just don't see what everyone else sees.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they collapsed.
They did.
Now, I'm not
That
going to
must have been
say
a crowning achievement for you.
I'm not going to say that I saw it coming, because I didn't see the collapse.
But you
coming.
want to say it, dude.
I would love to say it, but that's not the truth though, because what I saw was they'll be good enough, but they won't win the World Series.
I think everybody might have seen
I
that.
thought they said they were being told that they're going to win the World Series. ESPN picked them over the Rockies, I believe, was their prediction. I mean, really. And I couldn't understand it. Everybody had the Red Sox in first
Somebody
place.
must have been drunk at ESPN if they thought the Rockies would have.
and they passed around whatever they were drinking, because it was pretty unanimous over there, and I didn't understand
I think
why.
ESPN.
I wasn't there, was I?
I think
I wasn't there. Was
I think so.
I think ESPN passes the bottle a little too much.
They do.
That's just my
They
opinion.
do.
I think everyone's opinion.
I mean,
pretty
whenever,
much.
yeah, especially when it comes to anything in New England.
Yes.
In the New England
We
area,
love New
all of a
England.
sudden they just throw all the credibility out the window.
We love New England.
But
we love Tom Brady.
I did say they're just adding a bunch of stars. I mean, it doesn't mean that they're going to be a cohesive unit or anything. And Crawford struggled. Adrian Gonzalez was still good.
Yeah.
But you got to wonder what the deal was there. I mean, the funny thing was that Pedroia still showed his love for Francona. And they defended him, but then, what about when Francona was there? What were you guys doing? Drinking beer? In the clubhouse?
Yep.
That's how you show your appreciation now?
Yep.
Oh, no, but you care about him now that he got fired.
Yep.
Okay, and now that you're not doing well. Okay, that makes sense.
Just
Smart analysis there.
Yeah. Key additions, of course, Johnny Gomes, Shane Victorino, and Ryan Dempster. Key losses were Cody Ross.
Key addition, Johnny Gomes. Really?
Yeah.
That's an insulting comment to hear.
No key additions.
Johnny Gomes is what a career like 250 hitter.
Yeah.
The guy just hits for power, for crying out loud. He's like the Travis Hafner of the Indians.
Pretty much
give
it.
me a break.
Pretty much it. Rotation wise, like I said, John Lackey, what a waste. Another guy who should go home. Ryan Dempster, on and off.
He'll struggle.
He's the on and off. John Lester. Same thing. He's
he's going to do well.
He's gonna do
John
well.
Lester, I like John Lester. He's very consistent. He never has that long a losing streak, to be honest.
He went 9-14, and
He had an off year. I
What
mean,
was his
this
ERA?
guy.
What was his ERA?
4.82.
Right, and
His
for
ERA
him,
was 4.82.
and
really?
for him, that's very high.
It's very high.
For him. I mean, for other people, that's like an okay ERA, but for John Lester, that's a high
Really,
ERA.
for other people, that's an okay year. Really?
I'm saying that's what their usual thing is. Like, when you look at their lifetime ERA,
For who? For a middle reliever?
let's say, what's probably A.J. Burnett.
Okay.
when he was with the Yankees,
Yeah, he was terrible.
we'd be lucky if he had a 4 ERA. John Lester is not a pitcher who's going to have a 4 ERA.
And what's he doing in Pittsburgh now? He's like sub 3.5 right now.
Well, that happens all the time. You have no pressure to win, you do well. Figures.
What could go right for them?
What
You know
could
what could go right for them?
What could go right? The fact that they're...
Here's what can go right for them. That somehow the team planes for the Yankees, Blue Jays, Rays, and Orioles all crash and have a fiery, destructive end.
Whoa.
Tell us how you really feel.
Why would I want the Yankees to be in a plane crash? I'm saying this is what could go right for the Red Sox. If this happens, the other 4 teams will have to use their prospects, their farm system. They're not going to win. Okay? So then the Red Sox can jump in and take the division.
Excuse me.
And then
that is mean. What are you talking? This is PG.
I'm saying that's what could go right for the Red Sox. I'm not saying I want that to happen. I don't want Mariano Rivera to die in a plane crash.
He should just retire too. Another guy.
Well, he's still one of the most... It's going to be interesting to see if he's still one of the most reliable receivers.
He'll have a 5-mile-per-hour fastball.
Look, you're thinking about your Mets, okay? Maybe. Maybe for you that's acceptable.
At least Bobby Parnell, at least his fastball is 102, 103 miles per hour. Mariano can barely get it to 90.
Don't get me started on Bobby Parnell. I have a tirade about that guy.
Are you seriously trying to compare Bobby Parnell to Mariano?
I'm not comparing. It's just he has a better fastball than him.
No, he does not.
Does he have a better?
No, he does not. Don't even go there.
He can crank it.
He can crank it, but that doesn't mean he has a better fastball.
Well, controllable wise,
Mariano has
but
it.
If he finally gets control of it, you could see what he could do. It'd be nice if he can find the control of his fastball. Look, he's got a great fastball, which I don't know why he just uses.
Don't worry, he'll find it. He'll gain control of it when he leaves the match.
I just want to get a quick thing.
Bobby Parnell should not.
Before you go on Bobby Parnell, real quick, what could go right if the starting pitching returns to form? Ellsbury has a monster walk season, and Middlebrooks has a breakout year. Farrell could engineer a quick turnaround.
I still don't see it happening in that division.
It's all right. We know that Boston's an improved team, obviously with John Farrell as manager.
Mm-hmm.
Middlebrooks is a good prospect. I am not going to take anything away from the guy. I think he's performed well. Jacoby Ellsbury, he's always a threat because he's a good hitter and he's one of the top runners in the league.
You want to go with Middlebrooks, 288 last year, 34 runs, 77 hits, 14 doubles, no home runs.
Still, that's a good season.
Oh, sorry, 15 home runs. Not bad.
That's a good season. I give him that.
Yeah.
Johnny Gomes, we know he's going to hit for power. He's going to hit probably sub 230.
Well, you wanted to say something about that pitcher we were talking about.
Oh, we'll get to that in a second. We'll take that.
We'll get to Bobby Parnell in a second. Don't worry.
He averaged 262, 99 games, 73 hits, 10 doubles, 18 home runs, 47 RBIs. And actually had 54 RBIs from Middlebrooks.
That's
not bad.
It's not bad. I mean,
what could go wrong if the injury bug of 2012 carries over and the Red Sox struggle to trot out a respectable rotation? Fans could suffer through the first 100-loss season since 1965. I do not see this team losing 100
I don't see it either.
It's not.
Look, I rag on the Red Sox all the time, but I do think they still have enough talent to prevent a 100-loss season.
Yep.
That's to me is a given. It's not.
Right.
It's not that you need to see it. To me, that's a given.
I don't know where that came from. They just don't see... If they were going to lose 100 games, it would have been last year.
Definitely. The AL East, we covered pretty much the whole AL East.
All right, now...
My pick...
Quick,
who are your picks to win the East?
The AL East?
AL East.
I think the Yankees can still hold off the Blue Jays.
With the lineup they have now?
I think they'll have a slow start.
You have a fever?
I don't like the slow starts. Hey, look, we're not like the Mets where when we have a slow start.
Can we not bring the Mets into a comparison?
We don't do that, okay? We actually can come back during the season.
They started off well, and then all of a sudden something went wrong. Thanks to Santana's no-hitter, everything went downhill.
Oh, so let's blame it on Santana.
Yeah, we're blaming it on Santana. I agree.
What?
After the no-hitter, everything went downhill.
Are you out of your mind that you're going to blame it on Santana for the
I'm not blaming Santana on everything, but I'm blaming the no-hitter.
I wouldn't.
The no-hitter, all of a sudden we were spiking. who had 40 wins, all of a sudden it just went splat.
The no-hitter was a crowning achievement that the Nets have been plagued to not do for their entire history.
Hey, they did. Don't get me wrong. I was excited when it happened. I was so happy.
Yet you're gonna blame the hype of the no-hitter.
Yes, I blame the hype of the no-hitter.
That is
went straight downhill.
That is ludicrous.
But you also got to.
But hold on, we'll get to like I said, we'll get to the Mets in a second.
No, we won't.
Even though we have 10 minutes left on the show, I think we'll go a little bit more.
That is ludicrous.
I want to get so your pick is the Yankees, Carlos.
I'm gonna pick the Yankees, but not to hold off the Blue Jays. I'm gonna pick them to hold off Baltimore. I just think Baltimore's got enough weaponry to go past Toronto at this point.
As I look more into the AL East, it's a tough division. I'm gonna go with Baltimore.
You go with Baltimore.
Really, I thought you picked the Blue Jays last time we talked about this.
As we like Carlos made, like I said, Carlos made me think about certain things.
Okay.
And I said it before. Even Blue Jays have a good team, but it takes time to build this team. They're rebuilding.
You know, it's possible that both the Blue Jays and
Baltimore can get in
the playoffs.
I don't see it.
I'm saying possible.
Possible.
You know, very possible.
I don't see that either.
I'm saying it's possible rule-wise. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to say.
We're bringing the rule there.
Who finishes last?
Oh,
do we all agree on Boston?
I almost want to say the Rays because I feel like Boston again.
I'm tempted to agree with that because of the lineup.
Yeah. And because like I said, I still do believe Boston has enough there to, not have the 100-loss season like the book says, and maybe even pass the Rays up.
You look at both. Not to cut you off. You look at both the Rays and the Red Sox. If we're gonna look lineup wise, the Red Sox have the better lineup. You go with the pitching rotation and the pitching staff, the Rays have it.
Yeah.
Better manager? I think Joe Maddon's a better manager. What's the X factor here? I think the X factor is playing at home. And right now, I would have to give the edge. I got to give the edge to Tampa.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think they've had more of a homecoming
You're right.
crowd than Boston has lately.
It would be interesting to bring up their records at home from last year. If we could do that.
I think Tampa trumps it.
It's tough. It is tough. It's funny, you don't usually decide who's going to win that.
Yeah, it's tough.
To win last place. That's not usually.
That's not something you like to talk about. That's just something that comes up.
Yeah.
So what? Tampa Bay's home wins.
Both go
Tampa
with
Bay's
Tampa
home
and
wins
Boston.
and Boston's home wins.
Let me get that stat up real
Well, if
quick.
we're focusing on home, we should focus on road too, because it's
Well, we could do subtraction there.
Would you really?
I don't know. Just figure we can. You take their home wins.
I understand we're trying to use our brains right now, but
And
it's kind of a like a slow discussion.
It is. Just give me a second. Trying to get the regular season.
So while he's looking for that number,
Got it.
Okay, let's see.
Tampa Bay had 46 home wins.
Interesting.
And Boston had 34 wins.
All right. So like you
On
said,
the road,
Tampa Bay has the
44. Boston's got 35.
Okay.
Ooh, that's kind of 50-50 there with
It is.
the Red Sox.
So what the difference was again was the home wins.
Yeah, I gotta say Boston's gonna finish last.
Yeah. It is looking that way. It is looking
Seems
that way.
like
Again,
it. I think we're all agreed on.
It's
Boston.
odd for me to even do that because I'm so used to me picking.
I don't want to pick Boston either.
Now that we've made our picks for who's gonna win and who's gonna lose that division. Who's the best pitcher in the AL East?
Well, let's see our candidates here. We now have the additions of R.A. Dickey and Josh Johnson.
Okay.
All right. Again, we don't know how they're going to fare in the American League. CC Sabathia is always up there.
Of course.
CC's always up there. R.A. Dickey, Josh Johnson, I would say.
R.A. Dickey you could take out of the list. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a horrible year.
It's going to be the American League.
I'm not gonna say he's gonna have a horrible year. I'm gonna go with like a 500 year.
Like I said, I think.
Because I think he's got control of that knuckleball.
Baltimore's prospect is probably their best pitcher right now.
Which is
I don't see that. I see Brian Mattis as the best pitcher.
Okay, that's fair. Same thing. He had a good year last year. David Price.
okay.
Right now,
I would say it's between Price and Sabathia because they are proven in their own division.
And like I said, Boston's pitching, it's on and off with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to agree with you, but
Leicester could have, a comeback year. Who knows?
But I will say CC.
I'm going to agree with you on that. But if we're looking at dark horse pitchers, the two guys you got to look at are both in the same team. They're both in Toronto. You got to look at Brandon Morrow, and you got to look at
Definitely.
Josh Johnson.
Definitely.
Those are your two dark horse pitchers, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, Ricky Romero, he's all right.
He's average.
He's nothing special.
He's average.
But he does get the wins when every now and then when the Blue Jays need him.
Right.
It's going to be an exciting year for the Blue Jays. I really look for. I hope they sell out the Sky Dome, because
they
like
should.
I said, it's a shame what happened after the strike.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one of the stadiums that I enjoy seeing when it's just full.
Right.
It's awesome, and I really do hope that this should attract many more people to come.
Absolutely.
Whether it just be Blue Jays fans or maybe somebody making a trip, to see a Yankee game up there or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it could work wonders for Toronto. I just hope that what happened to Miami doesn't happen to Toronto.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of, look at all these big players we just got.
Well, in terms of fans, you mean also.
Yeah. Like, look at all these big players we got, and then you suck.
That was just terrible what I saw online. I saw an iconic photo of just like the ticket booths when Marlins tickets were on sale. Only 4 people online. It was absolutely ridiculous.
And it's tough because how do you fix that? How do you
fix that? You sell the team. How do you fix
sell
that?
the team? Yeah,
You sell the
have
team.
to
That's the only option you have.
It seems like you got to move, and it's a shame too because they have 2 World Series rings in their two World Series wins in their franchise,
but
and
you
it's
got,
too bad.
But you got to remember, whenever they've won a World Series, they throw away
the
80% of the
stars, yeah.
team.
It's the truth.
It's ridiculous.
It's like they went on this fire sale the first time.
I mean,
or whatever. I don't know what happened, but it's if they would just stop doing that.
If you look at it, I'm making this comparison because I kind of see like the introvert behind it. You look at the Marlins, the way they do like after World Series. It's the opposite of Los Angeles Clippers.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Clippers went from being a bad team to being one of the top teams in the West right now.
Right.
You look at the Marlins, they go from a championship team to a sub 500 to a sub even below 500 team within the next season.
Yeah.
It's uncanny just how stupid they are when it comes to winning World Series.
It is. Do you think we have time to do a NL or definitely not?
Well, let's see. We got we're right by 2 hours right now.
Why don't we just extend the show? Why not? I mean, it's just like...
You want to extend another half hour or you want to go like 15 more minutes?
Why not?
It's going to take longer to upload.
You can go 15 minutes if you want.
And we'll go another 15. The NL East we'll bring up next. Obviously, Washington is the favorite to win the East. As we all know, with Bryce Harper, Strasburg, and that elite team.
Yeah.
They're picked to win the East right off the bat. Is this a do or is this a bust, do or die year for the team?
I don't think so. I think they can. They still have enough of what they had last year. I think to make another run.
Another run.
No, it's not. I don't think it's going to be. I mean, do you think they're as good a team as they were last year?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So I mean, I would figure that why wouldn't they make another run for the World Series?
That's true. Take over real quick, Kenny.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can
Take
do that.
over real quick.
So, just take a look here. So, in terms of Strasburg, where do you see him this year, though?
He should be back 100%, maybe not 100% if you're looking at maybe 90% some odd. But he should get at least 15 wins this season.
Right.
I don't want to hear all this like controversy or just like build up that you should limit his innings pitched.
That's always like a thing with him.
It's ridiculous. I understand you're being careful because he's had Tommy John surgery, but I wouldn't be so careful on that. The guy can show that he can bring the heat.
Right. I mean, how long can you baby him like that?
I know. I don't think you could. And partly, I'm not going to blame Davey Johnson for this move. I'm going to blame the GM because I think it was ultimately his call.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean...
I do think that it is time to take the training wheels off.
Yeah, I agree.
It is. I mean, I've seen what could happen when these guys are mismanaged because they want to be careful with their health.
Right.
I mean, at least they know that he's a starter.
Yeah,
at least they know he's a starter. I hope they don't fool around with that because this hits close to home with Jabba Chamberlain, the Jabba rules, and what they tried to do with him. Start him off in the bullpen and then work him into a starter, and that just turned into a disaster.
Right.
It did, and even now it's gotten to the point where Jabba's not even as dominant as he used to be.
Yeah.
Because he has dealt with injuries, even though you're trying to protect him. And I feel like, at least with the Nationals, they're not trying to make Strasburg something he's not.
That's true.
You know? They at least have him, he knows his role. He knows that he's going to be a starter.
Yeah.
But I do kind of agree with John at some point where it was a big mistake for them to pretty much pull him.
That's a tough move. I mean, okay, it's his first season coming back from Tommy John surgery, so you can understand the logic behind it.
Right.
But this behavior has just gone far enough.
Yeah.
You can't allow it to happen this season. If it happens again this season, then I just don't see that team winning the East at all.
Right. I just feel like...
don't get me wrong, they got a good squad. They got John Lannon. John Lannon's a pretty dependable pitcher.
Yeah.
Gio Gonzalez, of course, he's Cy Young worthy.
Of course, yeah.
I mean...
Won 21 games, right?
Yes, he did. I can't remember if it was 21 or 24.
Yeah, it was 20.
Like that.
It was 21, and then... I mean, again, they have enough from last year. I still think they're great.
What's the lineup look like?
The projected lineup?
Yeah.
All right. Kurt Suzuki as catcher.
Okay, interesting.
Adam LaRoche at first base.
Yeah, he's getting old, but yeah.
Danny Espinosa at second.
Okay.
Ian Desmond at shortstop.
He's got to watch his defense carefully. That guy gets into a lot of errors.
Yeah, he's like, always seems to happen.
Yep.
Ryan Zimmerman at third base.
Okay.
Then you have Jason Worth at right field, Denard Span at center, and Steven Strasburg at left field.
Really?
What?
Steven Strasburg at left field?
Strasburg. That's what it says.
So they have the top eight.
He's pitching and playing left field. I love it.
Is this a typo or something?
It should be a typo.
It should be a typo.
Steven Strasburg at left field.
Is there two left fielders? Or they have the same name?
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh man, that is interesting.
Hold on. I gotta see the depth chart.
That can't be. No, that's got to be a typo
It
on
has
this.
to be.
It's, or at least like you said, it's got to be another player the same name.
Oh man.
So
maybe it's Strasbourg with a.
no, it's spelled the same.
Oh my goodness.
I'm getting the roster. Hold on. Time out.
Yeah, this should not be the case. Because I thought Jason Worth was playing left field. I could have sworn he was left.
Well, it's
Bryce Harper. Jason Worth. He's there.
Jason Worth, Denard Span, and
It's Bryce Harper. It should be.
Yeah, Bryce Harper. There
That's
we
it.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a typo.
It's a typo. Yeah.
listen,
Morons.
Sporting News Baseball.
What a bunch of morons. Oh.
This just to show that this wasn't us. We didn't make this mistake.
It was
This
like
is Sporting News Baseball, issue number. What issue is this? This is the cover. This is the baseball preview with Derek Jeter on the cover.
And we're supposed to read this, and we find out that
Steven
Strasburg's
Strasburg is
playing left field.
Oh,
that's where your $7 went. Okay.
So you don't want him pitching, but you want him playing left
You
field.
have him play left field
And batting.
So
okay, that makes sense.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Davey Johnson is a genius.
We're not gonna baby him. We're just gonna mess up his elbow a lot more. Okay?
Yes.
That's just.
Have him swinging a few pitches.
I don't think I can go on with the show after that.
Oh my goodness, that is just hilarious.
What a way to kill the momentum.
But let's look at it this way. Washington has a dangerous team.
No, they do. They do. I just want to, I think he was doing around the horn real quick. Ryan Zimmerman, Jason Worth was worthless. I can't stand him. Strasburg's playing left. I don't know why, but we all know who it is. Bryce Harper should have a tremendous year once again.
Of course.
Well, I just want to know what he batted. 270, 59 RBIs, 22 home runs.
Yeah, but that guy's got a gun. He does. A gun for an arm.
Yes, he does. Key additions were Dan Herron, Wilson Ramos from injury.
That's interesting.
From injury, and Denard Span from a trade. So, and their rotation, obviously, Gio Gonzalez, Jordan Zimmerman, Dan Herron. Looks pretty good to me.
Looks pretty good, but you gotta be wondering about what's it called?
The
Dan
bullpen.
Herron.
Yes, that's the big question.
Not only that, you gotta look at Gio Gonzalez too. After this whole speculation of steroids, it's kind of up in the air with the pitching staff. But got to admit that is a dangerous lineup.
It is. It's a scary lineup. The way, like I said, it's Bryce Harper, Ryan Zimmerman, Adam LaRoche.
Yeah.
Even Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. So, where do you... Are they repeating as NL East champions?
I would say yes.
All right.
Right now. Now, at this point, I would say yes.
Who's that?
Washington repeating?
Absolutely.
Do we got 100 wins from them this year?
What was their record last season?
98 and 64.
Ooh, 100 wins, that means they would go 162. Just trying to think if Davey Johnson could pull something off like this. I would have to say yes. I think that pitching staff is going to be strong.
I think so. It's just bullpen wise. I think they need
that's the question mark. I would.
Tyler Clippard, he's on and off.
Tyler Clippard's more of a long reliever. I mean,
let's see who led with saves. Oh, Tyler Clippard had 32 saves.
Yeah.
Go figure. I guess he's their closer.
Oh man, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Clippard. I think he gets bombed every time he comes in, but I mean ERA shows it 3.72.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's iffy for a closer.
That's
it should be 1 point something if you're that good of a closer.
Yeah.
So like I said, they're repeating. I don't think anyone can challenge them except for Atlanta.
Really? You see Atlanta challenging him?
Absolutely not. I can't stand. Well, 94 and 68. I'm just kidding.
I go right to the question. He's like, no way.
No way. Who you king? I hate Atlanta. Another.
Well, it doesn't matter if you hate them or not. It depends. Do you see them challenging the Washington Nationals?
Not a chance in. No, it's the once we get again. If Vince's theme song comes to mind, no chance in hell. Around the horn, real quick. B.J. Upton in center, Jason Hayward in right, Martin Prado in left, Dan Ugly at second, Freddie Freeman at first, Juan Francisco at third. Come on, Ant-Man.
What's this? You need me to read you a tough name?
Yes, read me a tough name.
All right. Which one?
Short.
Shortstop? Andrelton Simmons?
Is he right, Carlos?
Let me say that.
Oh, boy.
Andrelton Simmons?
Oh, man.
Wow, it's usually the last names that are doozies.
Yeah, I think you're right on this one. It's Andrelton Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Hopefully he becomes a household name.
Yes. At least they don't have Tim Hudson playing center field.
Yeah, right.
Quick rotation wise, Chris Medlin obviously had a good year last year.
Yes.
Tim Hudson, Mike Minor, Paul Malaham.
Oh, Paul Mahalam. Yeah.
There we go. That was close. And Julio Teran.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him either.
I got to admit, that's a pretty stout pitcher.
It is. And obviously, Craig Kimberly was the closer, right?
Kimbrel, yep.
Kimbrel, thank you. And how many saves? I think he had a lot of saves last year.
Didn't he have like 40?
42.
That's right, yeah.
42. I think the offense.
And this is the team that ended what? 4th in the division or 3rd?
2nd.
They ended 2nd, really?
Yeah, 2nd in the NL, 94 wins.
I don't remember that.
Well, was that the prediction for this year, or is it...
No, that's prediction for this year. They finished 2nd.
Okay.
Obviously, they made the playoffs last year. Didn't go too well for them.
That's true. Yeah.
What could go right for this team if everything hitting wise Hayward turns into his old self and bats over 300?
What could go right for this team? I don't. If anything, if the fans show up to this.
Yeah, that's
To their
home field
games,
has to.
it has to play a factor.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? That the pitching staff, the starting rotation tanks.
That's true.
Paul Maholm's he's a pretty dependable pitcher. He did really well in Pitt, and what's it called? That's honestly a tough rotation to try to get through.
It is. He went 9-6. You know.
Yeah.
3.74 ERA, 81 strikeouts. I mean, like I said, the pitching looks all right on paper.
Yeah, absolutely.
If everything goes wrong for them by pitching wise, they're not making the playoffs. Key additions was B.J. Upton, Jordan Walden from a trade, and Gerald Lard from free agency.
Gerald Laird.
Lard, piece of crap.
Lard.
Lard. Key loss is obviously Chipper Jones retired. Thank God.
With you and the Met Killers, what is with you?
He's bitter. Chipper Jones. I'm bitter.
God.
And Michael Bourne, obviously from free agency, and Tommy Hanson went to the Angels. So.
That's right. I forgot about that one.
Yep. I don't see them beating the Nationals out.
That's going to be a tough race. It is going to be very tough. I see that division possibly being a 3-team race.
I'm gonna skip the next team.
Please continue. No, I mean if it's
Philly.
Please, I want.
Okay.
I want to discuss Philly.
Okay. Obviously Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels, Kyle Kendrick, and John Ladden. You know, that's their pitching core. Actually, Roy Halladay did not have a good year last year.
No, right.
One of his probably worst. Cliff Lee, same thing, didn't have a good year also.
Cliff Lee has not had a good year since leaving Cleveland.
I just want to put this out real quick. Roy Halladay finished 11-8. He's your ace, and he finishes 11-8. Something's wrong.
What was his ERA?
ERA 4.49.
And Cole Hamels must have been the ace last year.
And Cole Hamels finished 17-6 with 3.05 ERA, and we get to Cliff Lee, who was 6-9.
Yeah, but his ERA is probably
3.16.
That's a good ERA though.
Going around the horn real quick: John Mayberry Jr. in left, Ben Rivera in center, Dominic Brown in right, Chase Utley playing second, Ryan Howard at first, Jimmy Rollins, hope he tear ACL during the WBC.
What is with you and tearing ACLs? Oh my!
Because it keeps them keeps them out a long period of time. Like an arm injury doesn't do much. You know, only Tommy John, but he doesn't really pitch. So.
Why don't we just cut everyone's elbows so they can do freaking Tommy John surgery?
There we go.
I mean, give me a break.
Michael Young at third and Carlos Ruiz behind the plate.
Ruiz, come on, get the Spanish right, Ruiz.
I'm not Spanish, okay? Jeez.
Neither is Michael Kay or Bob Shepard.
I can't stand Michael Kay. And I've said about him.
Hey, he gets the names right.
Oh boy.
That's the one thing I give him.
Oh no,
you got whether you hate him or not, you have to give him that.
By the way, Carlos was suspended 25 games after testing positive.
Nice. Yes. Beautiful.
Oh man.
Just to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jonathan Papelbon, closer.
Who?
Yeah. Why does that sound familiar?
Who? Well, that Who guy. I think he had an off season last year.
Yes, he did have an off season.
38 saves, gave up 56 hits, only 92 strikeouts. Probably one of his worst as in his career.
Well, everyone's bound to have one of their worst seasons. What are you gonna do?
Oh, of course. Key additions were Michael Young, Ben Rivera, and Mike Adams. Where do you see
Michael Young?
Yeah, Michael Young.
I totally forgot that they had a Michael Young. Did they really?
Yeah, got him from a trade.
Anyways, what was their record last season?
81-81.
Yeah, they were 500.
Yeah, 500. Didn't make the playoffs.
I'm gonna make a slightly bold prediction that they will not be 500 this year.
I say so too. Ant-Man?
I don't know. I mean, I can't see Doc Holliday having another off year.
It's a good possibility. Also, I think Ryan Howard, he's gotta stay healthy this year.
I agree. Yeah.
Also, Jimmy Rollins, hate the man, but same thing with him. He has to.
Can we agree they have a stout infield? Can we just
they have a stout. Yes, they have a stout.
Stop beating around the bush.
They have a great infield. I'm not gonna lie. Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins, Michael Young, great. It's injury wise. Do not get injured. They get injured, they're in trouble.
Right.
Now we get to talk about our favorite team.
Oh, of course.
The New York Mets.
This is an opportunity for now.
Yeah, it really
You
is.
should do that Bobby Parnell thing.
Obviously,
we'll
get to that quick in a second.
Let me just get to this.
Just let him get to it.
Go.
I mean, if we're talking about Bobby Parnell, do not use him as a closer. I am sick and tired of them bringing him in as a closer. I don't care how fast your fastball is. The point is, when you tank 2-run leads the way you've done last season as a closer,
Oh, I completely agree.
You should be a setup man. Be a setup
Yeah, I
man.
completely
That's what he's
agree.
set up for.
I completely agree. You're 100%
No pun
correct.
intended on that one either, okay? Well, that's my tirade on Bobby Parnell.
I was hoping for a big one.
Oh wow, I thought that was a big one as well. Obviously our rotation probably this won't be it.
Mm-hmm.
Just
What would it
really quick.
Rotation is a cause for concern. That's what it is.
We'll go like 10 more minutes. Yohan Santana, Nice, G, Harvey, Mejia. I just don't think Mejia is gonna be ready.
All right.
I hope it's not Mejia, because they ruined his career. They ruined him.
Well, the Mets have an act for doing that.
They ruined pitchers.
Thank you for bringing up history.
Yeah, thanks.
Come on, really.
Matt Harvey, I want him to start the first game.
Matt Harvey. Jeff Harvey.
Stop it.
Really? Did you just bring that up?
Jeff Harvey.
I really want
You
him
know
to
what I'm
start.
talking about?
I really
Do
think.
you?
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Okay.
I really want him to start the first game. I don't think it should be Johan. Definitely not. Either Nice. Nice doesn't even deserve it either.
You want a bold prediction? Dylan G is your opening day pitcher.
He's coming off that thing with his arm now.
Cares? Would you honestly put in Johan?
No. That's why I give Matt Harvey the ball.
You give
He's
Matt
your
Harvey
future.
the ball.
He's your future ace. The man can pitch. Give him the ball.
I can't see him as an opener.
Give him the ball. And bullpen, I don't want to discuss. It's terrible. It's horrible. It's probably the worst in the Major League Baseball right now.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah, I'm putting them below.
Really?
Yeah, they're bad.
That's interesting.
Bobby Parnell, obviously,
Because you got teams like the Rockies, you got teams
Oh,
like
I know,
the
don't
Padres.
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but really, Frank Francisco is your closer. That's our closer.
Well,
He's Armando Benitez. That's it. He's our version of Armando Benitez. Come on.
He was a character, that one.
yes, he was.
Josh Edgin, really? Germany Hefner, he had an okay. He's okay as, maybe if the game's 6-0, you need another,
Okay. Get your point there.
Tim Burdick, our left-handed specialist.
Hey, he's a good long reliever.
Oh, he is.
He is a good long reliever, okay?
He is. My phone just go out of whack.
Now, what was the Mets record last season?
74-88.
74-88. So, I'm going to make another bold prediction. They will finish third in the division with at least 80 wins.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
bad.
not unreasonable.
That's not bad.
I think they can pull it.
Well, let's go around the horn real quick. Our all-star David Wright playing third. Ruben Tejada at short. Daniel Murphy at second. Ike Davis at first.
Why?
Johan Santana is catcher.
Johan Santana is catching. No, John Buck's our catcher, unfortunately.
Hey, John Buck isn't that bad, all right? Now, okay, come on.
Lucas Duda left. Kurt Neuenheis got injured.
Yes, he did, yes.
So who knows if he's going to be ready. I hope it's not that long.
Who's the prospect? It was a center fielder in spring training. He made that big catch.
Brandon Nemo?
No, he had a long name. It sounded like a Dutch name, something like that.
Well, it's not on the top 10 on their farm system, so.
Ah,
Zach Wheeler is the number 1. with Travis Arnett as number 2.
Yeah, Travis Arnett, I know about.
I think he's going to be a catcher in the next
I agree.
20 games, and I think they're going to bring him up.
20 games in.
20 games in, because
quickly.
I think the only reason why I think that something with arbitration and stuff like that, or like they're going to start John Buck the first 24 games and then bring him up. That's what I keep reading or hearing. So
you know what I want to do? What I would like to see is actually go to Citi Field and try their pulled pork. I heard it's really good.
Oh my god!
I heard it's really. Have you been to Citi Field?
I have not.
I have not.
We actually have to. We have to do that this year. I've been to Citi Field already, but I'd like to go to a game with you. Because we're Met fans.
Hey, I just said I want pulled pork.
You're a Yankee fan. This is a Met thing.
I can go and laugh at the Mets.
Big deal. I'm a Mets fan. I went to Yankee Stadium more than twice.
You should die.
Up yours.
No Met fan steps into Yankee Stadium. Hello.
No. The rule is no Met fan should set place at Citizens Bank Park or Turner Field.
No, absolutely
Unless
not.
the Mets are playing.
Yes.
Obviously, the key.
Thank you for saving the number one.
You don't want to ditch your team into that environment.
Obviously, our key additions were Travis Arnett, John Buck, and Brendan Hicks.
John Buck was a key addition?
Yeah, right. I don't get that. Obviously, our farm system is stacked with prospects.
Yes.
It's actually they're ranked 10th in the farm system.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're like top 10, top 15.
That's interesting.
Like Zach Wheeler and Travis Arnett, those are our top 2 right now.
Yeah.
So would you say that Mets fans absolutely have something to look forward to?
I'm looking forward to
if they don't trade away their farm system like other teams in New York.
Something to look forward to, I would say no right now.
Okay.
Maybe 2 or 3 years down the line,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to, because I do, I would like to see new guys, new faces, hopefully help Citi Field sell out a few games.
And they open up against San Diego at home. So
that's a tough one.
it is. It is tough.
Because for some reason, San Diego just finds a way to pummel us.
Here's what could go right for the Mets. Just keep us interested. That's all I want. Keep us watching.
That's something you see going right.
Going right for these. Keep us watching.
I see that as something going wrong. Keeping us interested. You keep us interested early, that might cause concern later on.
Well, I'm going by what pitching we have, and it's pitching wise, we're all right.
Really? You think we're alright in pitching?
I think if Santana can find his old self again.
I see red flags going up
I want
Santana
to be good, so he's good enough to get traded, and we get something out of him.
Oh, I wouldn't go for that. I really wouldn't. I mean, you got the prospects. Try to use them.
Well, I think you can't bring Zach Wheeler up till maybe 5 months into the season.
That's too soon.
6 months into the season.
That's still too soon. I'd probably go within a year. If anything, just bring him up to AAA.
I think that's what they're gonna do with him. But if you want to see what he actually does in Major Leagues and Major League Baseball,
Give it a year.
I say All-Star break. If you're completely out of it, All-Star break. Now, if they have a shot, no. Keep everything the way it is.
What are you smirking at? I'm curious.
There's something else.
He's looking at stupid pictures. But anyway.
Oh boy.
That's the Mets for you. We're not even going to talk about the Miami Marlins. It's enough said.
What could go wrong with the Mets?
Everything. Injuries. Everything. Injuries. David Wright.
What could go wrong for the Mets? Playing the NL East.
I know.
That's what could go wrong with the Mets.
Well, I think if they could beat Atlanta, they could beat the Marlins.
No, they can't. They can't beat Atlanta.
We'll see.
I just don't see it.
I'm ending the show with, I think the Mets have a good chance to be good this year.
Good chance to be good. What is your definition of good? What record?
Good. Over 500.
I don't see it.
They'll be better than Philly.
I thought you were picking the Mets to win over 80 games, though.
I picked the Mets to win over 80 games.
85 games, I think they're gonna win.
Ooh.
Just keep us interested. Don't make it be like last season where
you can't tell the Mets to keep us interested.
I know.
That's a problem.
It is a problem.
That is a problem.
It is. But,
you do that early in the season, I guarantee you they will start tanking and go into 4th place 20 games in.
Definitely.
I mean,
definitely. But that's actually I'm not talk about the Marlins. You know, it's the Marlins.
You just want to avoid that
I'm
conversation.
avoiding the Marlins. They pretty much traded everything away. So they're rebuilding again. That's one word, rebuilding. That's it. Don't have to say anything about them. I don't know. I just want to take a quick note on what their starting rotation looks like. The Mets might even have a better starting rotation.
Just go over their lineup. Let's see. Let's just make a projection. Let's make a projection on how many wins they'll get this season.
Their record last year was 69-93. Rotation: Ricky Velasco, Henderson Alvarez, Nate Ovodi,
all right,
Jacob Turner, and Wade. Who are these people?
Wait, didn't they have
Wade LeBlanc? Wade LeBlanc?
Wade LeBlanc, yeah.
Who are these people?
What about wait, didn't they have Anibal Sanchez?
Oh, Johnny?
Not listed on here.
Really? I think that might be another typo.
Yeah, he's not listed.
We're gonna look that one up. We are definitely gonna look that one up.
Key losses were Reyes, Mark Burley, and Josh Johnson, as we all know. Obviously they got the farm from Toronto, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
They pretty much got the farm. Who are these people?
Who are you people?
Seriously, who are these people? I've got Juan Pierre playing left, Justin Regano in center, Gina Carlos Gina, ain't that the big guy who plays right field?
Wait, who?
Gino Carlo Stanton.
Oh, Giancarlo Stanton.
There we go.
Previously
Donovan,
Mike Stanton.
There we go.
Thank you.
Donovan Solano playing second.
Hands down, that is the coolest name in the MLB. Giancarlo Stanton. That is the coolest name in the MLB.
Logan Morrison playing first. Ebony. Come on, Mr. Names. Second base.
Second base. Echevarria. Yeah.
Echevarria. Yeah.
Playing shortstop. Placido Blanco playing third. And Rob Brantley behind the plate.
Rob.
I've never heard of these freaking people, okay? Never heard of them. They might not break 50 wins.
Worst team in the NL.
Worst team in the NL East. Their pitching looks horrendous. Ricky Velasco is probably the best pitcher on the team.
Speaking of the Marlins, they are currently on a 0-0 tie with the Mets right now. It's top of the second.
Woo-hoo! Oh, speaking of that, we're actually WBC. First game's at 3. I think it's Italy. I know. I'm just Italy and Mexico, I believe. If I'm correct, I think there's 3 games today.
Interesting.
Just want to double check that.
Currently, right now, in the top of the second inning, you have the Yankees beating the Cardinals 1-0.
Yay!
Ooh, all right.
You guys are saying all right. You guys should be pissed.
Quickly bring up.
They win games in spring training. That's a bad sign.
Bring up the scores while I look for this. By the way.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's the only scores going on right now. 3:05. You got the Mariners and A's.
Okay, I got it.
They're in a split squad game. Actually, they play the Royals, trying to give them their first.
Italy
loss.
versus Mexico at 3. Venezuela, Dominican Republic tonight at 6:30, and that's it. That's the WBC.
Give me Venezuela and Mexico today.
I got Venezuela, and I got Mexico upsetting Italy.
That's not an upset.
Ant-Man.
What about
Venezuela?
Italy and Venezuela?
No, Dominican Republic versus Venezuela. Ooh. Italy versus Mexico. Your picks.
I pick Italy versus Mexico. Mexico. Yep. Venezuela versus Dominican Republic. That's a tough one. I guess I'd go.
You gotta go with the better bats. It's gotta be Venezuela.
Yeah,
they got the stronger squad.
That's what I'm leaning towards because also they're always last year too.
Don't you dare mention that Italy losing to Mexico is
an upset.
It's not an upset. You want to know what an upset is? Canada beating Italy.
That'll be shocking. But that's it. That's our wrap for today. We'll have WC more World Baseball Classic coverage tomorrow. Obviously, we can watch the games for once.
I did pick Venezuela, by the way. I did.
Venezuela. And Mexico.
Mexico straight down the line.
Hopefully, I'll have Carlos on future shows. I'd love to have you more.
All right.
So we're getting out of here. This is the longest show we've done. It actually went pretty well. So I'm John.
This is Ant.
Carlos.
I'm Carlos.
See you guys tomorrow. Later.